the upcoming few hours that they can take advantage of guys that are seriously hungover.
Well, and you talk about this game, and more importantly, Jimmy, one of the things we all talk about is here we go into the third game. By the way, it's the Patriots at the Jets. Not Green Bay.
What did I say?
Green Bay.
Sorry, Patriots,
okay.
Jets. Thank
Patriots at Jets. One of those, AFC Eastern divisional rivals. And I haven't really quite seen Aaron Rodgers get off the schneid. But the Patriots, how about them at 1-1? Jets at 1-1 should be a good game to go. We'll dive into that a little bit deeper out here at Twin Peaks in Scottsdale.
Yes, that's where we're hanging out today. ASU, of course, is getting ready as well to go on the road as they enter Big 12 conference play. We saw what happened to Arizona when they went and played the Kitty Cats.
Real Wildcats, Jimmy. They smoked them. What was that score? 31-7.
Ooh, it was ugly.
I think we won the battle of the cats.
Yes,
I think we did.
You did, Manuch. So let's quickly then. Those are some of our top headlines. Let's get into them right now. Manuch, look, this is a very important series for the Diamondbacks. In fact, every game down the stretch, they are playing for their wild card life. And it all begins in Milwaukee tonight.
Yeah, and I think a couple things. We got the starting rotations really going to have to step up. I hope that they can get beyond 5, maybe 6 innings, help out that bullpen. I think more than anything, that's going to be the key for this starting rotation. And by the way, Erod seems to be the guy that's hot right now. 11 strikeouts yesterday. He had 7 the last time out, 18 strikeouts the last 2 games. He seems to be getting his groove on here at the end of the season.
Yep.
Brandon Pfaadt struggled his last outing. Zach Gallen, decent one. Merrill Kelly, outstanding last outing. So the rotation said just that Jordan Montgomery, he is the, what would you call the de facto in this starting rotation?
He's an enigma.
Yeah, and then for these 4 games, the Diamondbacks, pressure's on 10 games ago, Jimmy. You got to hope. You got to hope they win at least 5 out of the 10.
Have to.
You do. And it's going to be very difficult to beat the Milwaukee Brewers. And you brought something up yesterday about a team that's already clinched.
Yes.
Brewers have already clinched the National League Central.
Yes.
Do they back off with players, give them a rest, or do they continue to play it out with 10 games and maybe the last 2 or 3 games give guys, some downtime, if you will? I think the Brewer crew is going to come out and play hard. I really do. Because I think for them, to go ahead and stay sharp, because in baseball, you take 3, 4, 5 days off as a player, you lose a little bit of something. For pitchers,
yes,
they need that rotation.
Yes, they need that time for the arm. I understand that. But you're right about everyday players. They need to stay in that groove. Look, if you alternate them, like you don't play a guy tonight, but then you play him the next night and the next night after that, then give him another day off and then just do that once in a while, that is not going to screw up an everyday
And I think what Torey Lovello's done is the skipper's done a good job manipulating players in and out, using his bench. I mean, you look at Newman, you look at Bell, you look at a lot of guys that have really played very, very well. So he's been very good with them to go ahead and make this, I call it the end run. I mean, this is not the last lap, folks. This is the last 100 meters that they're coming down the straightaway to get into the wild card spot. So you look at the wild card right now, and we talk about the standings where things are at. It's as close. This bad boy is going to go down to the wire.
Yes.
So I look at the wild card right now, and Atlanta's, I believe last time I checked, they're -2. So here's how it stands.
Okay.
Padres are up 2.5. Then you got the Mets and Diamondbacks both tied. They're both even. Then you got the Braves. They're 2 back.
And the Braves right now are blistering Cincinnati. It's 15-3 right now.
So there will be a lot of scoreboard watching going on.
Yes, there will.
And if you look at teams that have been hot, you look at Padres have won 6 out of the last 10. Mets have won 6 out of the last 10. Now, the Diamondbacks and Braves are 50-50. They're 5 out of the last 10. So at some point, if you can win 5 out of 10, I think I think the D-backs are in. I think they are. The Mets, probably the same thing. It's the Braves that are chasing those 4 teams to see if they can sneak in the back door, much like the Diamondbacks did last year.
That is exactly what happened. And the thing that you cannot have happen right now for the Snakes is to have them go on the down low. In other words, get really beat up by Milwaukee and lose several games of this series. Manuch, you're correct, I believe, where they have to be at least a 500 ball club. But on the other hand, they cannot, as you like to say, slacken and Cadillacing
Yeah.
throughout this series at all. They have to play hard every game.
Yeah, and I think that they will. I think they got a few things to clean up as far as fielding is concerned. That cost them a couple games in the last series against the Colorado Rockies.
Yes.
So that cost them. But I think on top of that, I think the solid defense. The hitting has got to come alive. I don't think that scoring runs will be a problem against Milwaukee. I mean, I think you looked at the last series versus the Brew Crew. When you look back on that team, I mean, the numbers, both teams were scoring touchdowns.
They were. Yes.
They were scoring touchdowns. And you look at the last series with this Brewers team, and the closest game was the 2-1 game was the very first one. Second game, Diamondbacks lost 15-8, and then they won 11-10 in final innings. So you got one of the best, if not the best, scoring team in the Milwaukee Brewers, the National League. And then the Diamondbacks have just got to be consistent in their scoring and give the run support for Brandon Pfaadt. But Brandon Pfaadt cannot be giving up 4 or 5 runs in 2 2/3 innings with his ball club.
So, in your estimation, again, we saw what Erod did last night. Do the starters for the Snakes in this series against the Brewers have to get through at least 5 innings? At least.
Yes, because this bullpen's been pitching a lot. They're taxed. So when you look at this bullpen and how much they've been throwing, they've been involved in every game. So it was nice to see. Erod go good 6 innings. I mean, to help save that bullpen. But the bullpen, aside from maybe 1 inning, has done pretty well the last several games. A couple things here and there. But yeah, I think they got to go at least 5 or at least 6 innings, Jimmy, with these next 10 games and try to get this thing, try to get it more stabilized. I think is what we're all talking about, and then work it from there.
All right, ASU preparing for their Big 12 Conference opener. It is a road game. They're going to travel to beautiful Lubbock, Texas. And right now, ASU undefeated, coming off that 31-28 win at Texas State. Arizona Wildcats, they are on their bye week this weekend, so no game for Arizona. However, now you're going to get tested by a team in Texas Tech that can throw it all over the yard, Manuch, everywhere.
Can you say ball control?
Oh, man.
Can you say long drives by the Sun Devils? And I think with Scatterboo, this running game, that's what they're going to have to do. We'll catch up with assistant head coach Charlie Regal here at 1:30, get his thoughts on the offensive side, the defensive side. But, yes, Texas Tech can air it out. You know, there are a lot of the things that do, a lot of the air raid offense that they continue to do. They can score quickly. Going into Lubbock, Texas, if it's a windy day.
Yes, and it most likely will be.
It always blows in Lubbock. So I think if you look at that, they can ball control and have their defense rest and then get them off the field. Very, very key for this team that can get up and down the field. So it's going to be a challenge for this ASU team starting off Big 12 play against the Texas Tech Red Raiders of Lubbock, Texas.
All right, headlines are brought to you by Twin Peaks, and our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes is poured by Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's our season-long football contest. All you have to do is text PEACE to 59925 every day to win this amazing grand prize. A Traeger grill, along with a Blackstone griddle, a pizza oven. We'll throw in a cornhole set, a portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector with an inflatable screen, a cooler, multiple cases of Cocoa 5, a $250 Twin Peaks gift card, and a logoed Wild Gear tumbler for you. So, no purchase necessary. Just text PEACS to 59925. Standard message and data rates do apply, and that is here at Twin Peaks. And we are at Twin Peaks. We're broadcasting live from the Scottsdale location, 1 of 5. So you can take advantage of the 29-degree man-sized drafts. We got happy hour going on at 3 o'clock, 3 to 6, and then they do reverse happy hour. As Manuch mentioned, Charlie Regal will join us here in about 15 minutes. We'll also have Scott Spreitzer at the top of the 2 o'clock hour. If you're not a normal listener if you're not a normal listener to us on Thursdays, you will know that Scott Spreitzer is never on Thursdays. He is a Friday guy, and he breaks down the games like no other. He's been coming on our show for over 15 years. We will have him at 2 o'clock, so you want to be around for that as well. 5 games out. He'll handicap. We also got Mike Yam from the ACC Network, and the NFL Network. We'll talk to him. He's kind of handling it all with the CW, and then Howard Balzer. So we got a lot to get into today. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Hey, it's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. You know us for delicious family dinners and huge party pizzas. But did you know we are great at feeding a large group too? Our full variety, so everyone will find something they love. And the best part, we don't charge per head. Just tell us how much you need to feed, and we'll handle the rest. Check out our catering menu at venezias.com. That's venezias.com. Venezias, a family and catering tradition.
Year after year, Lerner Rowe is voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. You may wonder why. The answer is quite simple. Lerner Rowe is so popular because we give every client excellent service and a superior experience. But also the main reason is results. We've recovered billions of dollars for our clients with over $1 billion collected in the last 5 years alone. Our phone lines are always open and our legal team is standing by right now, waiting for your call.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Oh, Downy in the rinse straight. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Yes, all good. Everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching
Does this have peanuts?
to waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at
You're live?
Scottsdale, located on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in the 101.
Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Scottsdale location, as you just heard the big voice guy. Time for our sounds of the night, and we will start with the Cardinals' next opponent. We've got a couple sound bites from the coach, Dan Campbell. Here he is talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. doing a little bit of everything.
I mean, look, we know what he was when he was coming out, so you have an idea of the skill set, and then you go off of what you've seen the last 2 weeks, you know. And I know he's improved every week.
This is 1 minute 15.
So, he's a talented athlete. He's long. He's got good ball skills. And he really kind of did a little bit of everything last week. You know, he came up with 4 big plays. One of them was back of the end zone on 78 concept. It was a good throw, and it was a good play by him, just catching it over the shoulder, keeping his feet in. Then you see him on a one-on-one, just kept catching a 9-stop, just me versus the corner. And Kyler threw it. That was on the -1. Then you see the one where it breaks out, and he takes off, and now they're playing ball. Like, I'm running over, then I'm going to go over the top of the backer. There's nobody back here. He throws it, makes a play, get a touchdown. So, there's he's growing as he goes. And I think you just study what you see on tape, and we know what he is. And look, CD's an experienced corner. He's long, he can run.
10 seconds.
So I like the matchup, and I like TA too. So he's getting better, and hopefully he doesn't catch fire against us.
Yeah, I think at the very end there, guys, or Dan Campbell say, let's see, I can handle our cornerbacks. They can handle the experienced guys and go man-to-man. They could probably utilize that being the Lions go man-to-man and not have a shell over the top of one Marvin Harrison Jr. because you got Michael Wilson on the other side. So, you know what? And he knows the kid's talented. The kid can make plays, but he feels pretty good about his corners and his safeties as far as handling the rookie.
I just think that Aiden Hutchinson and the rest of that defensive line for Detroit is just going to try to make life extremely difficult for Kyler Murray. He played against the Rams front four, which was probably a JV squad at that time, and he was sensational, meeting Kyler Murray. But this is going to be a different animal when the big boys now come chasing him.
I'm just curious. Did Hutchinson go to your high school?
I know. I was
home
gonna say,
town?
Went to
He's
Michigan.
all over, isn't he?
Are you a part of his fan club?
No,
I mean,
he's
you
a
are the
he's a
president of his
freaking
booster
he's
club?
a freaking star. Aiden
Because
Hutchinson is a star.
that's
He's
the only
been
guy, Jim.
mentioned 4 straight
Yeah.
days now.
That's
Yeah.
correct. Well,
Jim-
who are they playing?
Give us
I
another
understand
angle,
that,
Jimmy.
but, yeah, I mean, you got to have another cake.
When
Jimmy,
we
why-
talked about the Rams, didn't we talk about Aaron Donald for 4 straight days? Yes, we
No,
did.
we didn't. He
No, we
didn't
didn't.
play.
No. In the past,
Well, I
we
don't
talked
remember.
about.
Who cares
Well,
about
I'm
the
just
past?
No, I'm talking about Aiden Hutchinson because we used to talk about Aaron Donald with the Rams, how he owned the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah,
he was a home wrecker.
We would. I agree with
Okay.
that, but we would go with that take maybe once.
No,
Not
you
4 straight
would
days.
go with it once.
You
I'm
go
going with it
4
more.
times.
I just want to make sure people
That's the only take he
understand.
has, Rob.
It
That
really
is not
is.
true.
Yeah,
He
give him a
used it
break.
twice on Monday.
Yeah, yeah.
I heard it yesterday, and I
Yeah.
heard it on Tuesday.
I
I heard it
remind-
again today.
It's a bold take after Aiden Hutchinson had 4 sacks last week.
That's correct.
It's like,
Hey,
you don't even need to follow football. Your girlfriend or your wife would know that Aiden Hutchinson is somebody that's pretty good. All right, let's move on. Here's what Coach Campbell had to say about the offensive defense of the Cardinals.
They do multiple things on offense. They heavy under center gap scheme in your face, downhill with Connor. And then certainly they got pistol, they got gun off of it in the run game. Play action, boots, keepers, let him break the perimeter, look downfield, for his receivers, force shifty, young guys finding his way in a hurry. So they're dangerous over there. They've scored first 3 possessions, first 3 drives in the last 2 games. And then defensively, man, they give you multiple looks. They fly to the football. They're aggressive. Buddha is, and he is, he's an issue. He's an active player. He is a football playing dude, man. And he can smell it. He can sniff it out, and he's going to find it. They're physical up front, and
10 seconds.
They play good. They play well together. They play hard. So this is going to be an outstanding test for us, and they're playing good football right now.
Might be an outstanding test for the Cardinals, too.
It will be.
I mean, this is the true litmus test early on in the season. Buffalo, the second half, just shut them down.
They did.
So what did Coach Petz in the OC for the Cardinals learn in that Buffalo game he took to the Rams game? Now you have an opponent that's an NFC Championship worthy opponent that brings the house. They can run the ball, and they've got the complete game. So for the Cardinals, when you hear Dan Campbell talk, look, it's a tough group. Tough group. Not going to be an easy out for us. So I think this is one of those for them. Detroit to get back on track, get a little more consistent. For the Cardinals, okay, we'll see who the Cardinals really are in this game before they move on the next couple
I
of weeks.
agree with that.
So who's the only quarterback in the NFL through the first 2 weeks to have 4+ touchdown passes and no interception?
Derek Carr.
Nope.
Woo.
Nice guess, though.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield?
Nope.
Oh, man. I know.
Not a bad guess.
Brock threw 1, so not Brock. He leads the league in passing yards. Oh, man.
It's right under your nose.
Kyler
Murray. It's Kyler
Murray.
Wow.
Oh, look at him.
How about that?
Keep the mistakes
to a minimum.
Exactly.
Yep.
Hey, on this day in 1993, John Carney boots 6 field goals for the Chargers as they beat the Houston Oilers to set a new NFL record of 29 consecutive field goals made.
It's amazing.
In the 3 o'clock hour, we're going to spend some time on why the numbers are down in offense. Is September the new August. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm going to kind of have some fun with these guys. 51 years ago tonight, 1973, about a few miles from my house in Ocean City, New Jersey, Cape May, New Jersey, America's first pirate radio station. Free Radio America went on the air in international waters right off the coast of Cape May, New Jersey.
You know, there was a movie made about pirate radio as well. And I always found those stations really interesting. When you're here in the West, Rock, you didn't live here then because you didn't grow up, but they had a station in Mexico, and Wolfman Jack was the star DJ on at night, and you could hear that station every night all the way from Mexico to Seattle. They were just across the border in the waters of Tijuana, and I used to listen to Wolfman Jack all the time.
Did he physically go across the border, or was the signal coming from
the
Mexico?
signal was coming from Mexico.
I remember he was in L.A. He's an L.A. guy,
yeah,
or San Diego guy. But yeah, the good old pirate radio. Yeah,
Yep.
tune in and late at night, like 11:30 at
That's
night.
it.
You got your AM. Got that little transistor, or you got that big box. You got to dial in. I'd pick up Spanish radio. I'd pick up Spanish L.A. Dodgers station.
Oh, sure.
I'd pick up L.A. Dodgers. This is when we lived down in Yuma. And you'd pick up, I think, KNBR.
Yep.
You know, you'd catch them, not that they were pirates.
Out of San Francisco.
But those signals late at night, and that's why I had fun listening to Spanish radio. You hear those broadcasters.
Well,
that
it
go off.
was the mighty 690.
Yeah.
Is what the station was.
Yeah, it was,
Right
yes.
In what's the Mexico City? Was it Taiwan or
Tijuana.
Tijuana. Yeah.
Tijuana.
That's where that
So,
signal came from.
Yeah, and even here at nights, on a really clear night, you can get KNBR late at night.
Still?
Yep.
Wow.
Man.
So I remember being in school in Ohio and getting KYW, which was Philadelphia.
Yes.
And there was a big blowtorch at St. Louis at the time too.
KMOX.
KMOX.
Yes.
So you got that too. So there's been a lot of stations that are blowtorches over the years that it's great. AM radio. It's
When
what
you
we
drive
do.
across the country, you
Yeah.
pick all the late at night.
I love it.
You drive at night, you turn in like 11 o'clock
Put
at
it on
night.
search, random,
you know,
boom.
Yeah.
And with my four-door Ford Maverick, I was manual, real slow. No
And then-
power steering,
Three.
no power nothing.
And then 30 years ago today, ER premiered on NBC. 15 seasons.
Wow.
I mean, this was one of the shows that I think it was appointment television.
Yes.
You'd hurry home or you'd be home to watch it. And what a great show.
Storylines. And I just wonder how many offshoots they have for people. Some of the people died. Some people got married. You had other, not sitcom, but other shows break off of ER from that. That's a great show. To your point, appointment radio. Check it out. So keep track of the storylines.
Some scheduling for you. We regret to inform many of you that have been listening to us for the last 20 years that we will not be at Casino Arizona anymore on Mondays. So they decided to go a different direction, and we will not be there. So over the next few weeks, we will be at different places throughout the valley on Monday nights. This week we'll be at Arena Sports Grill, 62nd Street in Bell. We will do the show there. There's 2 Monday night games, so we'll be there from 1 to 4. And the first game between the Bills and the Jags will kick off right after 4. So we'll have that. But then the second game between the Commanders and the Bengals, we will have that as our contest game. So halftime, we'll still do the same stuff. We're giving you opportunities to roll the dice for $9,100. We'll have a bunch of other prizes, ASU tickets, things like that. So make sure you go to our website, rockandmanuch.com, to find out where we are from week to week. But for this week, we will be at Arena Sports Grill. So we just got that information yesterday. So you may hear some commercials on the station promoting that we're going to be there Monday, but that is not the case. We're still working with them. We still will be there for Super Bowl and things like that. But going through a little transition with them, they are. And we will no longer be doing our remotes there on Monday.
Monday Night Football Roadshow, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we could do
on the
that.
road, we could travel.
Yeah.
You know, have bar.
One.
We will be there for a little Monday Night Football.
Yeah, so a little bummed about that.
Yeah.
But today, of course, we're at Twin Peaks. Always been a staple for us on Thursdays, and we're very appreciative to the partnership. But coming up, ASU assistant head coach Charlie Regal, part of our Crest Insurance Group Sun Devil Report. We'll talk about the big win over Texas State And we will talk about their next opponent, Texas Tech. That's next. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B.
What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
The Mercury entertained the Seattle Storm tonight in their regular season finale. They're the 7th seed in the WNBA playoffs and will battle 2-seed Minnesota. The D-backs jump into a 4-game set against the NL Central champion Brewers tonight. Brandon Pfaadt gets the start. Arizona and the Mets tied for the NL second wild card spot at 84-68. Cardinals getting set for the Lions this week. Yesterday's initial injury report had 3 players listed. Linebacker Dante Stills was limited with a shoulder issue. Offensive lineman Will Hernandez and receiver Xavier Weaver also appeared on the report, but did practice fully. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Attention drivers, your safety matters. All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing storage services contractor, proudly sponsors the Move Over Law. When you see flashing lights, remember to move over and slow down. Together, we can protect our roadside heroes. Drive safe, Arizona. Sponsored by All City Towing.
Over the years, Lerner Rowe has helped over 150,000 injured people recover billions of dollars for their injuries and over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. What does that mean to you when you're looking for an attorney to handle your personal injury case? That means that Lerner Rowe is a law firm that not only has experience, but the proven results to recover money for your injuries. The insurance companies know which attorneys won't put up a fight. When you call us, we call them, and they know they have to pay.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Don't miss a minute of the action when Sun Devil football returns to Mountain America Stadium Saturday, October 5th, when they take on Big 12 rival Kansas.
Swoboda throws, intercepted by Fiaseu. Cyrus Fiaseu is going to take it all the way in for an Arizona State touchdown. A pick 6 for San Diego State transfer Cyrus Fiaseu.
Get your tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Got a burning urge to pick games each week? Sign up now for Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em, brought to you by Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's totally free to play. Win weekly Twin Peaks fan cards and season-long prizes including $5,000 cash. Visit fanpick'em.com.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Sarah Spain with iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Capital One. On Wednesday, the WNBA confirmed that Portland is getting an expansion team that will begin play in 2026. Portland previously had a WNBA team, the Portland Fire, from 2000 through 2002. Portland joins the Bay Area expansion team, the Golden State Valkyries, which tips off next year, and a yet unnamed Toronto expansion team that will tip off in 2026. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Let's talk Sun Devil football.
Your life?
Charlie Regal now on Fox Sports 910 with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, courtesy of the Crest Insurance Group. Combine your home and auto for big savings today. Head to crestins.com.
Coach, before we get started, congrats on last week's win at Texas State. What a game that was. Seemed like that was a hell of an atmosphere you guys were in, and the way to come back from 21 was really hats off. Is there one word that you could even describe that game, if it's something that come to mind?
I think, first of all, how are you? Endurance. I think just, it's kind of what we wanted. And I know that sounds silly to say, but we've gotten to 2 fast starts with Wyoming and Mississippi State, and obviously, kind of gotten the lull there. We talked about Mississippi State, but, to be tested, to go on the road, not play our best football and kind of find out, hey, what kind of grit does this team have? And does it have the grit that we think it does? And they certainly put that on display on Thursday night.
Coach, when you look back, spring ball, fall camp, the first couple of games, what sustains that kind of mantra to come back and have that grit, as you mentioned?
I think it's 2 things, really, with this particular group. I think, and I've talked about the first one, which is how hard they work. Like, these guys aren't scared of hard work. That's the thing that keeps showing itself every Tuesday and Wednesday. We get after it from a practice standpoint. And so hard work. And then I think the second thing is that we just have some good quality kids on this football team. And I'm talking about the spirit of who they are. And I think, when we went down 21-7, nobody really flinched. I called Kenny the next day. He was in Texas recruiting. I was here recruiting, and I called him. I just gotten done. I was sitting there, and I was getting something to eat, and I called him. And I said, hey, man, you know what? We got something different with these guys. They didn't flinch. They didn't start, griping at one another. They just, hey, we got this, and they figured out a way to win. And I think that's, at the end of the day, there's no style points, as you guys know. Dub's a dub, and we're sitting here talking at 3-0.
Coach, and you get somewhat Scatteroo gets shut down a little bit, but I think that Sam Levitt, talk about a great bounce back game, but more importantly, making plays when he had to, throwing the ball, running the ball. That boded very, very well for this team. And I think his leadership aura around him might have grown as well, too, in that game.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. And from a coach's perspective, probably couldn't have unfolded any better for us to have that happen, right? You're going to need Sam to grow and develop the passing game, which I think we all believe he has the capability to do. We've just been so efficient at running the rock the first couple of weeks. These guys were going to go out of their way to make sure that we didn't, have as effective run games. So, he's elevated his game, and we beat him with some great passing plays. And I think that's only going to bode well for Sam and the Sun Devils as we move forward into the, second quarter of the season.
What's the difference in Texas State from the Texas State in years past, Coach?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
So what's the difference with Texas State now versus years past? I mean, they have got a lot of dudes on that program.
Well, and I think that's a great point. I think, one, obviously, being able to acquire the talent, quickly in the sense of the transfer portal, a program, that may have been historically down like a Texas State, is now able to go out, spend a little money and elevate their roster quicker, Now, sometimes there's pros and cons to that. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But I think when you see the atmosphere there, you see the president and athletic director, they've made a commitment to winning, and you can see that in what they're doing there.
Charlie Ragel's our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. Coach, my question now, Big 12 conference play beginning. On the road in beautiful Lubbock, that's a lie. You're going to play against a Texas Tech. I knew I'd get a chuckle out of that. You're going to play against the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and they can throw the ball all over the yard. That has been their MO and for years, and it still is. Is it just too simple to say that the game plan offensively is a ball control offense and try to keep their offense off the field? Or can you add something to that you think is going to take place in this game?
Well, I think, first and foremost, that's what our identity is. Our identity is running the football, and everything comes off of our run game. I don't think you have to be a rocket scientist to watch us play and see that, our passing game comes off of us being physical up front and running the football. And so, I don't think that's going to change this Saturday in Lubbock. They do throw the ball all over the yard, and but for us, we've got to go in there and just play, get after it, physical, downright, punch in your face football. And I think if we do that, I like our chances.
that seems to be the tone this year, Coach. It's obvious just to pound the ball control, especially with an air raid team or a team that throws it all over the yard like Texas Tech. You guys been doing a lot of tackling drills with those dummies and tackling in space with these guys spread out, 4, 5, 6, where do they go, 10 wide sometimes, Charlie?
Listen, they got about every trick in the playbook. I'll tell you that. So it's they do try and spread you out, and they throw it laterally, vertically. I mean, any which way they can throw the ball, they're going to throw it. And we just again, we've got to try and close the space and turn this into a fist fight. And I think if we can do that, again, I think we're going to be in good shape.
I think one thing that a lot of people don't realize, Charlie, is your scout team giving you that look. Now, I can imagine you got the best of the best. You're running that scout team of Texas Tech's offense and their defense as well, too. But I'm sure you got Navi Bruzon back there running that scout team and throwing the ball over the yard. How important is that to get that good look?
Well, I think it's critical. One, like, we tell these guys and we're on them about the film study and teaching them how to be, professional about, coming in and putting in the time to study the film. Well, then you've got to go out there and be able to practice those looks at a high level. And Navi does a fantastic job in helping those guys from a scout team perspective give us great looks. And that is critical every week. Every look team, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, the looks and the quality of looks that you get are critical for a great operation on Saturday. There's no doubt about that.
Charlie, take me to the defensive side of the ball then, because they are going to have to be on the field and defend against that passing attack of Texas Tech. Is there things that you will do differently as far as the defensive secondary? Will you add an extra defensive back? Will you try to, run a few more blitzes to put pressure on the QB? I know you can't give the game plan away, but give me something, okay?
Well, let me tell you this. You know what really makes a great defensive back? A great defensive line.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, you're right.
I think those guys know up front that we've got to come play our A game up front. And the more pressure that we can get on these guys, the more we're going to have to, make them throw the ball sideways, right? It takes time if you want to take shots and throw it and stem vertical passes. That takes time. That means you got to be able to hold up in the pocket more with protection. So, for us, that's one thing that we want to see. We want to see that ball come out quicker, and we want to see that thing go laterally. And, again, I think that's another the puzzle. If we're doing that, probably good things are going to happen for the Sun Devils on Saturday afternoon.
Coach, you expect this to be a pretty high-scoring game. I mean, Texas Tech just put up nearly 70 points on the board. I mean, they are scoring as we're talking about, but so do you guys. So do you expect this to be kind of a back-and-forth type game?
Well, I think that the one thing is, and you guys have just, kind of hit on it, right, in terms of running the football and time of possession. Those things are critical, right? And when you have an offense that throws around as much as they do and has put up the amount of points, I think, again, establishing a good solid run game and eating up some clock will help counterbalance, that high scoring output. And I think, philosophically, me personally, just running the football and playing quality defense and good special teams wins a lot of football games. And I think that the guys in our building really subscribe to that message, and that's the goal again on Saturday.
Hey, Charlie, I just want to make sure, is there a different kind of math in San Marcos, Texas, as far as clock management, what have you? I mean, you can only, 2 seconds seem like 10. I mean, is there new math being taught there on campuses or what?
I'll tell you what, if there is, I was going to stay and try and get a few years back off my age. Maybe we could reverse this thing, and maybe they could list me in my bio at 40 or 42. I'll try and get some of those seconds back. They seem to be pretty good at that. So, that was an interesting one, how it ended, for sure. That was wild. But you know what? We made it out of there and got the W. But that was certainly one I hadn't seen something like that unfold in a long time.
Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck on Saturday. We'll talk to you next week.
Always a pleasure, boys. Appreciate you. Go Devils.
Go Devils. Charlie Regal there. Thanks to Crest Insurance for sponsoring the Charlie Regal Sun Devil Report. Crest Insurance Group offers personal, business, and specialty insurance solutions for clients across all markets. Check them out online at crestins.com. Coming up, it's our underdog picks of the weekend. Plus, the NFL is punishing Derek Carr for his touchdown celebration. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Twin Peaks Scottsdale.
Tune in Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. for the Crest Insurance Group Sun Devil Report with Coach Charlie Regal. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust, service you can count on. Every Thursday on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Dreaming of a stunning putting green or a perfect lawn? With Tempe Turf Installers, it's a reality, starting at just $550 per square foot. Enjoy peace of mind with up to a 16-year product warranty and a 2-year labor warranty. Our skilled team uses cutting-edge techniques and premium materials for a lush, low-maintenance lawn. Call Mark at 602-348-7190 or visit TempeTurfInstallers.com for your free estimate. Licensed, bonded, insured. Tempe Turf Installers, your trusted source for artificial turf.
Kick off football season with Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light for a season-long fantastic tailgating giveaway. Text PEAKS to 59925 every day for your chance to win the amazing grand prize. A Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, pizza oven, cornhole set, portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector, inflatable screen, cases of Cocoa 5, a cooler, and Wild Gear tumblers. No purchase necessary. Just text PEAKS to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply. Make this football season unforgettable with Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Scottsdale, located on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in the 101.
$1 zillion. The question is, who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Most weekend bettors prefer to lay their money down on favorites because they can't get their head around backing an underdog. Not Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. They're all about the dogs. Time now for the guys' dog picks of the week on Fox Sports 910. Let's start with the guy who grew up playing tennis.
Sorry,
His dog
you're live.
Dennis beat him last year in the fan pickup.
Hey guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
Rock, you got a lock?
Yeah, I do. One game I think you need to keep an eye on is Georgia Tech and Louisville. Saturday afternoon, the Yellow Jackets have made it a habit under their coach, Brent Key, to be a great bet as an underdog. They are 11-3 under Coach Key, and they're a remarkable 8-5 straight up as an underdog. So you got to look at the Yellow Jackets, who have been no strangers to upsets all season long. I know it's a young season, but to take down Florida State on a neutral site in week 0 was pretty big, as we all know. Last season, Louisville was laying 7 points against Georgia Tech and held them off 39-34. I don't know who this Louisville team is right now. They're still unproven. So I'm taking the 10.5 and Georgia Tech.
I like that.
All right. See what you got for me there, Jazz.
Manuch, you played the game, so this should be a no-brainer.
They're all my dogs.
Give us your dog of the week.
I like Illinois plus 7.5 in Nebraska. Outstanding defense.
No way.
Offense can be worked on.
Way.
Well, I'm 3-0 right now, Rock.
So don't mean anything this early.
But I just think
side
that,
bet. Side bet.
Yeah,
My Huskers are going to roll.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Friday night, Lincoln, they're going to roll.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Dylan,
How much you want to bet?
Dylan, the rookie,
$100.
the freshman quarterback, Dylan Raiola.
Put your money where your mouth is.
No, I'm not going to bet. I'm not a betting guy.
You must not think you're going to win.
No, I'm 3-0, so I'm doing pretty good so far.
So what?
Yeah, so 3-0.
What do you win?
What are you right now, Rock? I'm
1-2.
Okay, I'm 3-0. All right, so I'm going to go Illinois plus 7.5 with that defense. Can look to hopefully stymie this Nebraska offense and at least get the cover. That's my dog. Illinois, the Fighting Illini at Lincoln, Nebraska.
All right, Jasmine, fire it off. Here we go.
Finally, he's not Jimmy the Greek, but he's been calling the game for over 40 years.
What about the dogs? What about the dogs?
Jimmy B, what's your underdog pick of the week?
Well, I love New Mexico last week against Auburn, and I'm going to stay in the West because the little kittens from Manhattan, Kansas, who beat up Arizona really bad last
like
week.
Like a tom-tom.
Like they did, are going to be on the road, and they're going to travel to beautiful Provo, and they're going to play against BYU. And it is a home game. BYU is undefeated, the same as K-State, and BYU is getting points. It is plus 6.5 for the Cougars. I am rolling with BYU at home.
I am all over that. I've already bet it.
Wow.
I love that. I was going to do that along with my Georgia Tech Louisville. I think this is a bad spot for K-State.
I agree. I agree with that. Yes, absolutely.
Sorry, Manuch.
What do you got?
We'll see.
Jax.
We'll see.
I'm going to go Bowling Green plus 22.5 at Texas A&M. The MAC has been playing these Power 4 teams tough all season. Bowling Green lost by 7 at Penn State just 2 weeks ago. They come off a bye week. A&M's dealing with some quarterback issues right now, a bunch of injuries on the offensive side. Give me the Bowling Green. Their mascot is the Falcons.
The Falcons.
To cover the 22.5.
By the way, Dex, let's update from last week. We forgot to do that to see how we all did. Would you please?
Yeah, it feels good to be a winner. Do you want me to start from the top or the bottom?
Let's start from the bottom up.
Bottom?
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Rock
me. 1 and 2.
1 and 2 had San Diego State plus 18.5 against Cal. They lost by 21 points. Myself and Jimmy B are both tied at 2-1. I had Tulane plus 16 at Oklahoma. Jimmy B had New Mexico plus 28 against Auburn. And Manuch, 3-0. Boston College plus 16 against Missouri. All of those covered. But I think Rock will bounce back this week.
I know I will. I'm not worried. All right, let's get to Derek Carr. He got fined $14,000.
Wow.
For his touchdown celebration because he grabbed his crotch and did a little Michael Jackson. And he even said, he goes, people don't know a lot of stuff about me. Weddings, birthdays, I'm always dancing. One time I hit the Michael Jackson and my brothers were like, bro, you have to do that if you score. So we did, and he gets fined $14,000.
Well, the couple things you can't do is the slash, the Michael Jackson. Obviously, the Michael Jackson.
Crotch grab.
Yeah, the crotch grab or anything like that. But man, Derek Carr coming out of his shell. Who knew? Kid's got the Michael Jackson in
Well,
him.
he is in New Orleans, and we love to go to Bourbon Street, so it's obviously rubbed off on him.
How about that offense? You got Kubiak Jr. running the show, and they're just they've scored all 15 of their offensive possessions.
That's an incredible stat.
And Kamara's they're running the ball, play action. They're getting Derek Carr pass protection. Boy, there's a commonality for this New Orleans Saints team. Their pass rush, Cam Jordan, the young man anymore, out of Chandler High School. So that team is playing, as far as the offensive side, defense, playing all pedal to the metal, all 4 gears for the New Orleans Saints.
All right, random fact of the day, random facts of the day. Food chains that do or do not use real cheese. So I will give you a fast food chain, and you tell me yes or no that they use real cheese.
Okay.
Wendy's.
No.
I'm going to say yes.
They do.
Wow.
McDonald's.
No.
Yes.
No. Burger King.
Yes.
No. No.
Wow.
Chipotle.
Yes.
Yes. Sonic.
God, I haven't been there in a while.
They're pretty good. I'm going to give it a yes.
Yeah, I will too. Yeah, they're
No.
good. Oh, wow.
Jack in a Box.
Yes.
Oh, man. I'll give it a yes.
Yes. Taco Bell.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Bojangles. You ever been to Bojangles?
Never been to Bojangles.
Oh, I love Bojangles.
Yeah.
I'll say no.
Nope.
Yes.
How would you know, Mooch? You weren't even.
I just give it a This sounds like they got fake cheese.
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Dairy Queen.
No.
Starbucks.
Yes.
No, actually, yes.
Okay.
Panera.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So there you have it. Yesterday was National Cheeseburger Day. Did you take advantage of that? 50-cent double cheeseburger at McDonald's?
No, I did not. Did a
I
little
did.
Raising Cane's line. By the way, if Philip Berthel's nowhere on there,
Nope.
the only place I know where they put cheese on it and it won't melt. So talking about, I'm like, what am I eating here?
Really?
Put it in the microwave and heat it back up.
Yeah.
Doesn't melt.
Wow.
I'm like, I like Philip Berthel's, don't get me wrong, but the cheese won't melt. Is it plastic? Is it fake? What's in the ingredients of cheese that doesn't melt? It's got the flavor.
I like that.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
No, I like the guessing if it was real or fake cheese.
How can they
look?
So easy to amuse you.
It is. Look at.
I find these dumb random facts of the day.
At least Jax didn't cut the cheese, so we're okay.
I knew this was going to go down that road. We're out here at Twin Peaks, Scottsdale. Our Peaks picks are coming up in about an hour, so hopefully you'll have an opportunity to challenge one of the young ladies here at Twin Peaks. But we are excited to have a great promotion with them. It's the Fan Pick'em. We've been doing it for 15 plus years. Go to fanpick'em.com. It's brought to you by Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. It's just do picks. It's easy. Just do your picks of the games, and you could win a man card from Twin Peaks plus $5,000. It's never too late as we take your 4 weeks that are just bad and we throw them out. So your worst 4 weeks we delete. So you still have a shot to sign up. So sign up at fanpick'em.com and watch all the games at the Five Valley Twin Peaks location.
And if you guys are like me, my survivor the first week was Cincinnati.
Oh, boy.
Blew up the first week.
Oh, boy.
Can I make an observation?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a reason why they call people massholes.
Two? Yeah.
And
Now what?
There doesn't go a remote where there's a bunch of people and some masshole comes up and goes, "Go Pats!"
Oh, yeah.
Which this guy just did. And he's like, thinks he's so cool, you know. And it's like, dude.
Well, they got
It's
6
like-
rings. I got to tell you, they
okay, but
they
they
can
act
pop
like you've
off,
been
right?
there. No, they know. They shouldn't. They should be like, hey, we win all the time. We'll just be cool about it. But instead, you got to come up to a remote where we can't hear you because we have our headsets on.
Right.
But we can hear when you yell, "Go Pats." I'm like, you're a masshole.
Yeah,
Period.
they think that's going to go out over the airwaves. You know.
Oh,
for
well,
that.
it could. I mean, if you hear the guys behind us. But yeah, it's just there's always one.
Never fails.
And it's like, all right, you can rip me as a Philly fan. Yeah, we're just as bad in some categories. I can only imagine. I mean, in Philadelphia, you would have thought the bridges fell apart.
Yes.
At the Walt Whitman, there in Ben Franklin because of that loss on Monday night, because that was a really
bad loss.
Really bad loss.
Bad loss.
And especially financially. But it was a bad loss. And I thought that was. I mean, I was chasing it in the second half.
Yeah.
I thought I was in. And that field goal, I won. I was like, I was
Sure.
all in.
Yeah, I'm here.
In it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Win another round. I'm ready to go. But no.
You gave
The
Kirk
defense-
Cousins too much time.
What is with prevent defense?
Well,
because
isn't
when
there
you run-
stats out there that show
Yes.
that you get in the prevent, you don't prevent?
That is correct. Prevent defense, you lose.
It is.
Here's stupid. You can do that to a point, but the one thing that the cardinal sin of the Eagles was allowing receivers to get out of bounds. The one thing, you can go 3 high and 2 on the side. Once they catch, make sure they stay in bounds.
Yeah.
Because they have no timeouts left.
Correct.
And
No timeouts.
55 seconds,
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
And the other thing, they were giving up chunk plays. They were getting behind the backers. So what you wanted is the backers drop back deeper, having unthrown. They were throwing post corners. They're going, how are they getting open? And then Cousins was getting pass protection. I mean, number one, why are you allowing them to get behind your backers? And number two, why are you allowing them to get out of bounds? So a horrible defense. That defensive coordinator got some splaining to do to his head coach.
Manuch, I felt like too. Usually you do prevent when there's 10 seconds left.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 15
Yeah.
seconds left, not 55. That's way too much.
And here's the thing: they could have. He's not going anywhere in the pocket. Bring the pressure. Bring 5, which told me they have confidence in covering the receivers, that they could cover them. They didn't want a big play. If you bring the heat, he can't move, especially coming off that Achilles. But yeah, it was just a bad defensive stand. And then for Slay to get faked out on that option route was amazing.
Scott Spreitzer, if you don't know who he is, you're going to want to listen. Top of the hour, handicapping Illinois, Nebraska, USC, Michigan, Utah, Oklahoma State, and then ASU, Texas Tech, and the Cards Lions. So he's going to handicap them.
20.
Mike Yam's going to join us from the NFL Network as well as CW. That's next. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. Monsoon season is upon us. Be proactive today. Go to state48roofing.com. Scan the QR code below. We want to take care of you. Be proactive. Get your maintenance done. We are home of the hashtag sexy roof status.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
If you haven't tried G2G protein bars, today is the day. Find them in your local Costco's refrigerated section or online at g2gbar.com. Incredible taste and packed with protein. They are perfect for your on-the-go lifestyle. Check them out today.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
TD, tutty, taking it to the house, whatever you call a touchdown, they matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Ready to place your first NFL bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score a touchdown. Ready to do a touchdown dance of your own? Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 910. That's code 910 for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus, Arizona only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus Premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus Premium terms at NFL.com/terms.
John Legend here. How do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Ask your healthcare provider and book at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Broadcasting from the Raffi Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Cardinals battled the Lions in Week 3. Yesterday's initial injury report showed just 3 players listed. Linebacker Dante Stills was limited with a shoulder issue. Offensive lineman Will Hernandez and receiver Xavier Weaver also appeared on the report, but practiced fully. The Mercury entertained the Seattle Storm tonight in their regular season finale. They're the 7th seed in the WNBA playoffs and will battle 2-seed Minnesota. The D-backs jump into a 4-game set against the NL Central champion Brewers tonight. Brandon Pfaadt on the mound. Arizona and the Mets tied for the NL second wildcard spot at 84 and 68.
Scott is ready
on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Thursday, look for another nice day out there. Mostly sunny skies. Temperatures right around 97 degrees. And then for tonight, mostly clear with those overnight lows dipping down into the low 70s. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. To hire, you need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Time to break
Your
down
life?
this weekend's biggest games with one of the nation's premier handicappers. From DocSports.com and seen every week on ESPN's Sunday Countdown, he's Scott Spreitzer. And he's here to help make sure your picks pay out with Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910.
All right, Scott Spreitzer joined us normally on Fridays. We got him on a Thursday, and we're going to start with one of his favorite teams, and that's Nebraska and Illinois. They'll go at it tomorrow night in Lincoln, a big game. By the way, Arena Sports Grill, where we'll be on Monday night. They are the home of Huskers in Arizona, so you want to watch the game tomorrow night and take advantage of the fish fry on Friday night there too. But Nebraska already 3-0 straight up against the spread as a home favorite this season. But this may not be a great spot for them, but we'll see what Scott thinks. So, Scott, you love the Huskers. Do you touch games when it comes to your team?
Yeah, I do. I've bet against them quite a bit over the past 5 years when Scott Frost was there. But yeah, I mean, it's a situation where this line, it opened 9 this week, and it was actually 9.5 before last week's games were played. So no significant injuries for the Huskers. They do have one starting offensive lineman who's been suspended indefinitely, but the person filling in for him has had plenty of starts in his career in college. So I'm a little surprised that it dropped down to 7.5. There are books that have started to bring it back up to 8. And of course, they beat Illinois last year 20-7, and Nebraska did that without an offense and with a human turnover at quarterback. Well, they don't have to worry about that this year so far. Illinois, when I look at this team, they were outgained on the ground by Kansas, 186-79. They gained less than 3 yards per carry. They gave up about 5.5 yards per carry. And then last week against Central Michigan, it's 13-6 at the half. Central Michigan ran for 142 yards, 4.5 yards per carry. Kind of fortunate wins. Well, the first game against Kansas was a fortunate win because of the turnovers by Jalen Daniels. But as far as Central Michigan, yeah, they should have won that game over the Chips. But if you remove all the luck factor, you're talking about a 20-13 type of win. So they've looked so-so in their wins, while Nebraska's been impressive in all three. And a 5-star quarterback, Dylan Raiola, is just making this team a different level than what it was a year ago. So I think Nebraska is going to find a way to both win and cover this number. I just think Illinois is about the same, but with better receivers than last year. And I think Nebraska obviously has made leaps and bounds over last year.
All right, Scott, you got USC. Last time I looked, it was -5 or 5.5 at Michigan. The Big House got a new starting quarterback. How much is that going to affect the line, or has it affected the line this weekend?
Yeah, it's basically been going back and forth between 5.5 and 6. Got to tell you guys right now that if they would have stuck with Davis Warren, USC would have been one of my top plays so far this season, but they made the change, as you mentioned, to Alex Orji, which means you're going to see a whole lot of running and try to play stout defense. You know, the team has that quarterback problem. Even Orji, if he has to pass, he's 3 for 6 for 15 yards. But this changes the look of the Michigan offense, and so it's a mystery right now as to how well they're going to do or how poorly they're going to play on offense. And then you got Miller Moss, exciting, electric, whatever adjective you wish to call him for USC. It's worrisome for Michigan that as good as their defense is and as talented, they're getting no pressure on opposing quarterbacks right now. No pass rush so far this season. They're struggling to stop opponents on third down. I lean USC, guys, but it's gone from a definite big play to an opinion, mainly because of that mystery at quarterback and what this team's going to do offensively. I think we're going to see a whole lot of running and some option football thrown in the mix. I think this is a great game for in-game betting, because if Alex Orji can't get it going for this offense, I think USC pulls away and wins by double digits.
Scott Spreitzer is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. All right, now this one is kind of unique, Scott, and that is Utah, Oklahoma State. There was a line early, and then the line shifted. Explain to everybody where the line was and now where it is right now.
Yeah, this has been all over the place, guys. It really has. It's funny because you had Utah at 1 point, laying 2 points. That was last week before the Cam Rising hand injury. They were moved to a 2-point dog when he got hurt. Yesterday, they were back to a 2-point favorite. Now they're back to a 2-point dog. I mean, it's just been bouncing all over the place. You know, Rising, believe it or not, as good as he's been when he's been healthy, just 5-4 straight up as a starter on the road in his collegiate career. And if you throw out that game against outmanned Southern Utah, then you see Utah's won both games, but the offense has been so-so. They failed to cover both games. Micah Bernard has been tearing it up on the ground. We do know that. Solid run blocking offensive line. And Oklahoma State's been bad on defense. They've allowed about 4.5 yards per carry and 157 rushing yards per game. So I think Utah, if they can have a healthy rising out there and a threat to be able to pass the football, then they'll be able to move the ball on the ground. Not crazy about the Oak State defense. I want to see Ollie Gordon start to get more carries. I mean, this might be the best running back in college, yet he's 61 carries for 188 yards the last 2 weeks. They are 12-0, by the way, when they rush for a touchdown. I'm going to lean Oklahoma State. Like I mentioned, Rising, just a game over 500 on the road. Utah, 6 big game true road trips the last 2 years. They're 1-5 in those games. So Oak State, now they're minus the points again. So there you go.
Scott Spreitzer joining us here. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Normally on Fridays. Got him on a Thursday today because he's got Nebraska pregame tomorrow.
He's got to get all over.
He's got to get ready.
Oh,
for that.
yeah, he does.
But let's talk about the Sun Devils, Red Raiders. They're meeting for the first time since 2017. Red Raiders are a 3-point home favorite, at least is what I see now, or 3.5, and a total of 16.5. What's going to happen this time around?
Guys, I decided that if the total was under 60, I was going to play the over. The total's 59, so you know where I'm going here. I do believe Tech will be able to slice and dice the Arizona State secondary. They seem willing to get out of the way of opposing receivers at times. They got outgained by 53 yards last week in a win over Texas State, but that was a nice win. The Bobcats are a good football team. They may win that conference. But the other wins were unimpressive. Miss State, we talked about it here a couple of weeks ago and liked ASU in that game. They got the job done. Miss State's bad. Wyoming misses Craig Bowl in a very big way. Texas Tech finally put it together last week. They were great on the ground and through the air, 66 points, nearly 600 yards. Here's the kicker, though. They've allowed 109 points in 3 games, 108th against the run, 118th against the pass, 123rd in total defense. So it's under 60. I like the over in this one.
All right, Scott, the last one. The Lions are coming into town to invade State Farm Stadium. Lions and Cardinals, last time I looked, it was Detroit -3, but it's interesting, the over-under, 51.5. Do you see a high-scoring game? Do you see Detroit finally getting off the schneid and lighting up that offense like we saw at the end of the year last year?
Yeah, I would lean towards the over in this one. And by the way, Kyler Murray, I've always been a fan of his, and man, has he looked great this year. I mean, last week was fantastic, but I think this is his toughest test to date. I mean, Detroit's defensive line, they've been terrific, putting pressure on opposing quarterbacks, 7 sacks in 2 games. I believe it was 5 last week. They're also 4th against the run, and Arizona has been run first. 355 yards, 5.5 yards per pop. They've run the ball 65 times. They've thrown it 52 times, but they faced a badly banged up team last week and a Buffalo defense in week 1 that also gave up a lot of yardage to Miami on the ground. And the Dolphins were so generic last week, but yet they were able to run the football without the threat of a passing game. Offensively, I look at this Lions team, so good up front on the offensive line. They're getting 4.5 yards per carry out of Montgomery, 5.2 per carry out of Joshua Gibbs, and they crushed Tampa Bay statistically, 463 yards to 216. They averaged over 5.5 yards per play, but you got a turnover at the Tampa 6, a turnover at the Tampa 26, and then Dan Campbell making that boneheaded move at the end of the first half that cost him a field goal. One thing about Detroit, they're 7-0 straight up and against the spread following the 2-game homestand. They've also covered 5 in a row off at least 1 loss, and they won those 5 games by an average of 30-17. I like Detroit to bounce back here and get the win.
Scott, as always, buddy, thanks for fitting us in this week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Hey, thanks for moving the show, guys. Good luck.
You got it. Scott Spreitzer joining us. Follow him on Twitter at Scott Wins, part of DocSports.com. He's been with us for over 15 years, normally on Fridays. So who are we going to get to replace him?
Well, we got a pretty big hitter that's going to replace him at that 2:30 spot.
Who's that?
Guy named Kevin Rowe, the counselor.
You moved him to 2:30.
Oh, he gets prime time. He's wanting that.
So what are you going to do at 2:15?
Well, at 2 o'clock we got Eric Moses, the CEO and president. 2:15 will be open. We'll break it down. We'll break this Cardinal Lion game down. Get that going on. We'll get it going on at 2:15 tomorrow, Rock.
Wow.
Want me to call in and add some levity?
Yeah, we need a punching bag.
We got a lot going on tomorrow, Rock. Just sit there and we'll break it all down.
Some other notes, some things that are trending when it comes to the world of gambling. The Buckeyes, who have Marshall this week, they have won 87 consecutive games straight up as the favorite of 20 points or more.
Wow.
Since 2016, they're 35-0 straight up. That's just gigantic. And how about this? Hawk over, as in Iowa Hawks. Week 1, Iowa over. Week 2, Iowa over. Week 3, Iowa over. They've always been the under.
They always
for the
have.
last 4 years.
They found an offense.
And now they are the over.
No, they haven't.
They haven't. Their defense is stellar. They're actually putting points on the board, Jimmy.
Not many. They played two teams that they just buried. It'll be different against Minnesota's defense tomorrow.
One more. Missouri,
Saturday.
3-0, 7-0 in the country, or ranked 7th in the country.
Yeah.
Huge favorite against Vanderbilt this week. They, as a favorite of 17 points or more, they are 53-0 straight up.
Wow.
Since 1990.
They are the most quietest, under the radar top 10 team.
They love it. Yes.
In the nation.
Scott News brought to you by our Twin Peaks fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. It's by our friends from Blue Moon and Coors Light. Text Peaks to 59925. You can do it every day, just once, and a huge grand prize. A Traeger grill, a Blackstone griddle, a pizza oven. I mean, so much. Go to the website, rockandmanuch.com. You can see all the stuff we're giving away. No purchase necessary. Just text Peaks to 59925. Standard message and data rates do apply. Coming up, we'll continue talking some college football as it starts tonight. South Alabama, Appalachia State, then followed by 3 contests tomorrow. Plus, how about Travis Hunter? He signs a game-changing NIL deal. We'll tell you about that next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Kick off the football season with Twin Peaks, Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and Fox Sports 910 for our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Text Peaks to 59925 for your chance to win a Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, and more. No purchase necessary. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
Feeling like your garage door issues are a real game changer? Don't fumble with overpriced repairs. Get Lifted High Garage Door Repair in your playbook. When it comes to garage doors, don't get sacked by delays or high costs. Lifted High Garage Door Repair swoops in to save the day. Put Lifted High Garage Door Repair on your roster and score big with top-notch service that won't break the bank. Call 480-270-1639. Great prices, quality parts, unmatched service.
Looking for the ultimate spot to catch all the college football action and your chance to win $9,100 every Saturday? Join us at Philly Sports Grill for the Dos Equis Game Day Show, live every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at any of our 4 Valley locations. Each week, up to 20 contestants will have the chance to roll the dice and win $9,100. Plus, be entered to win tickets to the first ever quarterfinal game in Glendale. Plus, enjoy Dos Equis featured each week. Visit fox910gameday.com for details. Philly Sports Grill, the #1 sports bar where the game is always on and the excitement never ends.
Don't miss a minute of the action when Sun Devil football returns to Mountain America Stadium Saturday, October 5th, when they take on Big 12 rival Kansas.
Swoboda throws, intercepted by Fiaseu. Cyrus Fiaseu is going to take it all the way in for an Arizona State touchdown. A pick 6 for San Diego State transfer Cyrus Fiaseu.
Get your tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
When you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck, Lernerell will take you from wreck to check, from crash to cash, from accident to whatever rhymes with accident. And we'll help you with all the details in between. We'll help you get to the right doctors, even if you don't have health insurance. We'll help you get your car fixed. We'll help you get your doctor bills paid. And then we'll fight with the insurance companies to get you every dollar you deserve. Hurt in a wreck? Call Lerner and Rowe. We're with you every step of the way.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Ready for some football? Join our annual Pro Football Pick'em contest today. You could win $5,000 and amazing prizes from Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. Don't miss out on the excitement. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
Attention all football fans. Old Spice Swagger Deodorant 4-pack is back at Costco. Get ready to unleash the greatest smell in the NFL. Old Spice Swagger is the ultimate 24/7 odor protection for all the football fanatics out there when used daily. But here's the catch, folks. This limited time offer won't last forever, so head to Costco and grab your 4-pack of Swagger Deodorant. Don't let those game-winning moments be overshadowed by unwanted odors. Get your Old Spice Swagger Deodorant now.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Scottsdale, located on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in the 101.
Hey, if
That's for Florida State. Here comes a blitz. They don't want to give Uyunga the lay room to get it to the end zone. He'll heave it. It's down near the goal line. Batted down by Memphis, and their sideline explodes. The Tigers, with Julian Barnett knocking it down at the goal line, win it here in Tallahassee.
How about Florida State falling 0-3? Unbelievable. Losing to Memphis, a basketball school. I got news for him. Memphis is pretty good. Yeah. They could be one of the teams that'll be in contention to get into the 12 playoffs.
I think that
I flipped a coin between them and somebody else. I can't remember who it was. Who was it when we were
Boise
talking?
State?
Boise State when it came to the Group 5 for the predictor.
I got to man. I think the DJU era is probably going to be over at Florida State. I haven't seen if there's going to be any changes at quarterback, but he's just not getting it done. It's not the same kid. He's forced a lot of passes. He's overthrown a lot of passes. Just the kid looks out of sorts to me. So I think that Coach Norvell will probably make a change if he already hasn't. But this Florida State team is absolutely reeling. I don't think I've ever seen a top 10 team reel 0-3 like this. I don't know, the last 25, 30 years, if that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Seminole fans, but I don't feel that bad. Coming up, 64 games, week 4. Got a full weekend starting tonight. South Alabama, Appalachia State. You got 3 contests tomorrow. Stanford, their first ACC game against Syracuse. That'll start the night. Then, of course, the big one where Nebraska's going to blow out Illinois. And then San Jose State and Washington State also on tap. And then Saturday, some big ones. NC State, Clemson, Florida, Mississippi State, Houston, Cincinnati, Kansas, West Virginia. That's the action in the first window. Then it gets really
fun.
tasty. Yeah.
Yep.
USC going to Michigan, and
The
USC
big house.
does not do well on the East Coast. LSU, UCLA, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Arkansas, Auburn, Rutgers, Virginia Tech. How about Arizona State and Texas Tech we talked about? And then Utah, Oklahoma State. And then the night games are Miami, South Florida, Northwestern Washington, Cal, Florida State. We just talked about the big one, Tennessee, Oklahoma, and then for the Midwest fans, Iowa and Minnesota. And then the late portion of week 4, Boise State, Portland State, Kansas State, BYU, and Northern Iowa, Hawaii to finish off the night.
There
so
you
those
go.
are the marquee games.
I'm excited. I mean, this is a good weekend. It really is.
Last week it was kind of a second gear.
Yeah.
USC, Michigan.
That's all chalk last week.
They got the bye. USC had the bye last week.
Right.
Michigan, new quarterback.
Yep.
Starting. Here they are. A team that this kid's a pretty athletic kid. They're all. But how can they get their offense on track? But good to see if USC another true litmus test going back. Ann Arbor take this one on.
I'm really looking forward to the Tennessee-Oklahoma game. That's for me. That is it Oklahoma State, right?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Thank you. For me, that is going to be a lot of fun, just because everybody in the Southeast thinks that Tennessee is it. They are really it this year, and I just want to see. I know that Oklahoma is not as good as Texas, because Texas is loaded, but I still think Oklahoma is going to put it on Tennessee and upset that win.
It's a bold move, but it's in Norman.
It's in Norman.
It's in Norman.
That's the only reason I feel like that.
If Oklahoma's their nemesis has always been their Achilles heel has always been their defense.
Yes,
they can always score.
Yep.
But can they slow down this Tennessee offense?
Correct.
That's going to be it. And if you're going to upset a team like Tennessee, you better get on them quickly.
Yep.
And play damn good defense and put pressure all over that quarterback, because Tennessee is on a roll and they're getting up and down the field, and they're feeling pretty good about themselves. But that's one of those games in Norman where Oklahoma always seems to have that one game against a top-ranked team, because they're typically in the top 10.
But yes.
That if they get their defense together, they could upset this Tennessee Vols team.
Travis Hunter, Colorado. The kid is just absolutely amazing on the field. Well, he's now turning heads off the field as he signed a groundbreaking NIL deal with Nerd Wallet, and they are calling it the smartest NIL deal ever.
Wow.
And what it is, he is committed to putting 20% of his earnings into a savings account with Nerd Wallet. And he is basically saying that it's a plan for a strong financial future. And you hope that a kid like this, who's a superstar and is getting out in front of it like this publicly, that other college athletes will follow him and do the same thing and are financially disciplined to take all this money they're making. And he basically sets a blueprint for college athletics and kids to say, hey, look at me. I'm probably the best player in all of sports.
Sure. Yep.
Could be maybe a Heisman
He's
Trophy
a Heisman
winner,
Trophy
at least
winner.
a candidate.
Yep.
And, this is what I'm doing with my money. I applaud that. I think
Great role model.
We need that.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what they're paying them. I'm sure the 20% is more than 20% of
Well,
what he's saving.
with Shador, I think is at $3.5-4 million bucks,
something like that. With
I mean,
Shador.
Travis Hunter, he played 113 plays last week. Yeah. Defense, offense, had a big game offensively, had a pass defense, had an interception. So when you look at the true meaning of the Heisman Trophy, the true player, he'll be in the hunt, pardon the pun, for that entire thing. But I think I looked at him and went, wow, can that kid sustain that kind of
the question.
Week in and week out? Now, last year he was on a roll doing that. 5th or 6th game, got dinged up, got banged up. Deion Sanders put him mostly on offense, backed him off the defensive side. But to see him, what he did in that Colorado State game, I'm like, damn, we haven't seen that in a long time.
Is our speaker out there?
I don't think so.
Okay. Oh, it is. Right.
Right
Well,
here.
so Jackson, what I want you to do is turn the TV screen to the tablet to the guy sitting, the ball guy at the bar. His head is on fire. He's eating wings, and you can see the steam coming off his head right now. Look how sweaty he is. Like he just jumped out of the pool. He's sitting in the bar. So, seriously, turn the screen.
Those are some damn hot wings,
I mean,
man.
he's hurt. He's hurt. I mean, he is just
Folks, you don't get this kind of information on other radio shows.
He's just going crazy.
So what Rock is saying, the wings are hot here
Dude,
at Twin Peaks.
His head is soaking wet. I mean,
Is this
soaking wet?
Is this
I'm
like
buy him a beer?
Is this like the Otis Sistrunk from the University of Mars? Is that what this is?
I've
right
never
now?
seen a bald head sweat like that ever, Rock. He's dripping.
And Manucci drinks the same size beers as you. It's a little baby-sized little beer.
More to control. Or standard control.
I mean, he is on.
He's on fire.
It's like 120 degrees in here, I guess. I mean, he's soaking wet.
Ew.
Oh my goodness! Did you see it, Jazz, on the TV? Oh man. Sorry. A little shout out to Bernie. Bernie, our intern, he's listening on the iHeartRadio app. He wanted me to
Bernie or Barney?
Bernie.
Yeah.
I talk about my buddy Bernie. Barney, shout out. Hey, Monday we will not be at Arena Sports Grill from 1 to 4 for the 2 games and doing halftime $9,100 deal. So we will not be there. Intern Barney. All right? We will not be at Arena Sports Grill.
Did you hear that, Barney?
This Monday to do our show from 1 to 4 for both games and then stay for the second game and do the $9,100 contest because he was upset last week that we had a miscommunication on where we were.
We'll switch up.
We will not be at Arena Sports Grill from 1 to 4 on Monday. And
Barney.
by the way, the debut of our new beer is going to be not this Monday at Arena Sports Grill, as we have a new amber. It's the Roc and Manuch amber, and it tastes so similar to Dos Equis amber that you may think it's the same.
Wow, okay.
But we won't have that on Monday
Not gonna happen.
at Arena Sports Grill
Only
from 1
Barney.
to 4.
Only Barney.
And doing $5 drafts
Yes.
of the Roc and Manuch amber that is being debuted that day, thanks to our friends at Dos Equis. But that's not this Monday from 1 to 4 from Arena Sports Grill. All
Stay
right,
tuned.
Intern Barney.
Yeah, stay tuned. for a location near you.
By the way, we're going to catch up with Mike Yam next. And the Atlantic Coast Conference is set to make some history this weekend with two members, Stanford and Cal. They play their first ACC game in week 4. Stanford's got Syracuse, and Cal has Florida State. Or no, Cal's got Florida State.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Florida State. Yep.
yeah.
I'm getting Florida mixed up with Mississippi State. But yeah, so of course, Cal and Stanford, SMU were admitted last year to the ACC. So
you imagine Cal goes into Florida State
and wins
that game.
Didn't they win at Auburn? They did.
They did. They did. But imagine that. I mean, Cal, talking about underrated. Nobody saw them.
Right.
The early success that they're having. But for them to go into Florida State and win that game, Norvell, folks, they're not going to fire him. His payout's like $1 gazillion.
that didn't stop a lot of other teams in the SEC.
Didn't stop Texas A&M.
I think his buyout's like $25-30 million. And to your point, it may not. But the way that they're playing right now, I think he's got to make the change with DJ, put the other quarterback in there. But, they were talking about.
Hey, you have one of your towels that you use.
You're going to wipe that guy's head off?
Dude, he needs a blanket.
I left it.
Mike Norvell's buyout, $65 million.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
That's not happening. That dog ain't going to hunt.
That is not going to happen.
Maybe they pay him over the next 65 years.
Sure.
Hey, Mike Yam, NFL Network, CW studio host for the ACC. He will join us next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Yeah.
Behold. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Cardinals getting set to battle the Lions in Week 3. Today's updated injury report showed offensive lineman Kelvin Beachum is limited in today's practice with a hamstring issue. Linebacker Xavier Thomas did not practice for personal reasons. The Mercury entertained the Seattle Storm tonight in their regular season finale. They're the 7th seed in the WNBA playoffs. They'll battle the 2 seed Minnesota. The day-back start a 4-game set against the NL Central champion Brewers tonight with Brandon Pfaadt on the mound. Arizona and the Mets are tied for the NL second wild card spot at 84-68. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Attention Nebraska and Arizona fans. Catch every thrilling game at Arena Sports Grill, your official watch party destination. Enjoy great food, drinks, and the ultimate game day atmosphere with fellow fans. Don't miss a single play. Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Crest Insurance is about more than providing coverage. It's about creating your safety net. We offer access to a national network of trusted carriers. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, we're here to help with a personal touch that's close to home. With Crest, you're not only protecting what matters most, but also helping to build stronger, more resilient communities. Crest Insurance, coverage you can trust. Service you can count on.
Dreaming of a stunning putting green or a perfect lawn? With Tempe Turf Installers, it's a reality, starting at just $550 per square foot. Enjoy peace of mind with up to a 16-year product warranty and a 2-year labor warranty. Our skilled team uses cutting-edge techniques and premium materials for a lush, low-maintenance lawn. Call Mark at 602-348-7190 or visit TempeTurfInstallers.com for your free estimate. Licensed, bonded, insured. Tempe Turf Installers, your trusted source for artificial turf.
Don't miss a minute of the action when Sun Devil football returns to Mountain America Stadium Saturday, October 5th, when they take on Big 12 rival Kansas.
Swoboda throws, intercepted by Fiasayu. Cyrus Fiasayu is going to take it all the way in for an Arizona State touchdown. A pick six for San Diego State transfer Cyrus Fiasayu.
Get your tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Kick off the football season with Twin Peaks, Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and Fox Sports 910 for our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Text PEAKS to 59925 for your chance to win a Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, and more. No purchase necessary. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
Mike is ready.
Okay, man. Time to be an all-star caregiver. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Be there emotionally and physically.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find care guides at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The NFL action is here. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. New customers download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SPORTS to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. That's code SPORTS, only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus. Arizona only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at dkng.co/ftball.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Scottsdale, located on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in the 101.
Well, I don't blame. I have no excuse. And I have no negative comment about that. I mean, ultimately,
your life.
When you play a certain way in this arena, you're going to be criticized, right? So this is one of those places where there's history and tradition and expectations. There's been a lot of really good football teams that played in that stadium in the past. When you play ugly ball, and maybe it doesn't look quite like we all want it to, then, hey, it comes with the territory. So, I probably would have done the same thing, truthfully now.
That's Billy Napier and his comments. Florida State 0-3. Florida 0-3 right now, and things are really down in the dumps as far as that school is concerned, and the same with Florida State. It's our pleasure right now to bring in Mike Yam, NFL Network CW studio host for the ACC and the Pac-12, and he joins us right on the Wright Toyota guest line. Mike, welcome to the show, my brother. It's always good when you take time to come on with us. And I referenced the Pac-12. In 2026, it will no longer be the Pac-2. How excited are you that they are adding San Diego State, Boise State, Colorado State, and Fresno State? So the question is, who else is going to make that move?
Yeah, well, I appreciate the invite, guys, as always. And you're right. This is an exciting time for the conference because I think it puts the league and really just the entire country on notice. Some of these other conferences. The reality is that this was a league that was fighting a narrative for a really long period of time that they were going to dissolve, that it was over, and that couldn't be further from the truth, especially based off of the news that we're seeing right now, because the expansion isn't done. They still need to get to 8 teams, so at least 2 more teams are going to enter this conference, before July of 2026. If I'm reading the tea leaves right, I think it'll be much sooner than that before we find out. I saw an interview Teresa Gould did the other day where she had said, hey, look, the inbound that we're getting in terms of the interest to join this conference is hard to field and have enough hours in the day to respond to all of the inbound. So to me, that's a positive. But look, you guys know this better than anyone. Look, there's such a great history and tradition in this league, over 100 years, the rivalries. I am still longing, though, for a time, and hopefully it happens in the near future, where some of the traditional rivalries that we've had in this conference for a long period of time that can't happen because most of those schools are gone, do find a way to come back at some point. And, we'll get some of the old Pac-12 teams into the mix with some of the new additions.
Mike, don't you find it interesting that, the buyouts for those 4 teams is $15 million, but the Pac-12 said, hey, look, we'll help you out. Now, if it's 50%, a third, whatever, but that's got to be just a no-brainer. Say, look, we're moving on. Yeah. Don't you think that's attracted to other teams to kind of raise their hand in the back of the classroom and go, hey, what about us as far as what the Pac-12 is doing?
Look, no question, because I think it's not only just from a financial standpoint where media rights are going to be up for negotiation again. And for as much as some fans on the East Coast, and I'm a guy that grew up on the East Coast, so I get it. for as much as they don't want to stay up late, those late windows are still really attractive. This league will still have those late windows. And now all of a sudden, we'll have the status and the ability to send a team to a college football playoff if these teams are ranked. And that's a win. Look, I think there's going to be multiple bidders for the rights, and maybe it's CW that comes in. Maybe there's some of the other partners that they've worked with in the past that would have interest. I would imagine multiple entities would have an interest in a product like this. So I think, to your point, you're going to see other schools jumping up and down saying, hey, how do we land here? Because I think even from a Mountain West perspective, the schools that remain, that's not going to be easy sledding too. Like, they're going to have to figure out this path of trying to rebuild. And, their rights are obviously with Turner and TNT has got some of those Mountain West games. I don't know what that's going to look like once those 4 schools leave the Mountain West and now enter the Pac-12.
Mike Ham is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. One more television question, and then we'll move back to football, Mike. And you would know this because you have made that move. You went to the CW. So now there are so many different entities that are interested in carrying big-time college sports and, of course, professional sports, not just the streaming companies, but now it seems that there are other, channels going to be available to add some of these teams. How did that happen? Because it just used to be the ESPNs, the Fox Sports Ones, and the CBS Sports Network. That was it. Now it's expanded everywhere.
Well, I think some of these other networks, including the streamers, have realized sports is still something you watch live, right? Like the Netflix model, the Amazon Prime model, Apple Plus, there's great movies and content and TV shows, and you can kind of catch them whenever you want. Sports is appointment television. We know this because this is our live. And I think that is so attractive. And especially when you talk about college football, I've been ridiculously fortunate. Most popular sport in this country is the NFL. Number 2 sport is college football. It almost doesn't matter if you don't even have the highest tier. People will watch those games. They still rate. And I think the interesting dynamic here and I'll just talk from a CW perspective because that's where I work on Saturdays now. The CW sits back and says, look, we got NASCAR, we got Live Golf, we got ACC football, and we got Pac-12 football. They're now setting up their Saturdays to be great sports days where you can just sit in front of the television and watch a game or watch an event. And to me, it was so attractive from a Pac-12 perspective. Guys, I worked at Pac-12 Network for 10 years. And when we launched, we didn't have that distribution. We didn't have that penetration in homes. And now all of a sudden the visibility goes from a little niche, right, on the West Coast trying to find these homes to 100% penetration across the country on broadcast television for the ACC and now Oregon State and Washington State on the CW. So to me, I think we're just scratching the surface here on the networks that would be interested.
My Game NFL Network, CW studio host on Saturdays. Also the fine author of Fried Rice and Marinara, true to my heart.
Yeah.
A little fried rice, a little marinara for a fine Italian that I am. Okay. Now, if I was let's go back, I don't know, maybe 20 years. Let's go right in the heart of Texas. Let's just go right there in the heart of Texas. And if I was to tell one of those good old boys with the boots to say, hey, look, TCU, you're them Horned Frogs and them SMU Mustangs? Yeah, what about them? They're going to be in the ACC in 20 years. Oh, you know what? Hey, arrest this guy. They're going to arrest somebody. Would you have ever thought? Because I think you could lose your Texas card back in the day.
Yeah.
That TCU and SMU would be in the ACC. I mean, just wrap that marinara sauce around it right there, Mike. Yeah.
I don't know how tasty that is, especially because I'm not the one doing that travel. I take it a step further because I'll throw Cal and Stanford into the mix there as well. This is not easy, and SMU is in sort of a unique position because being in the state of Texas. Much like California, flying to the East Coast is not necessarily the easiest thing. I mean, think about the road games that those 3 universities are now scheduled to play. And guys, I was at ACC Media Day at the end of July. I think it was the end of July. Maybe it was early. I guess I'm losing track of the days here. But the point is, I flew from LA to Charlotte. And I got to tell you, man, like I woke up that next day and I was like, ooh, this is why I don't do red eyes anymore. Like this hurts a little bit. My younger years, I used to be able to handle it a little bit better. And granted, from a football perspective, these teams are getting chartered, but there is still like that body clock and that routine. And, guys who play, they'll tell you, and you guys know this, like, you kind of want that same routine. I remember a few years ago, you guys might remember this. There was a game Stanford went to play Northwestern, and they lost that game. And that was Christian McCaffrey. That was one of his teams. And I remember that slow start in the first half, and they made a run in the second half. But I think there's something to it. So to your point on like SMU being in the ACC, yeah, that seems weird. Cal and Stanford being in the ACC feels weird. The best analogy, guys, that I can come up with? I grew up a Knicks fan. To see Patrick Ewing in a Sonics jersey, right? Like, take whatever your favorite player was and played for a long period of time, and then you throw him into a different jersey. That's kind of how this feels.
Mike, it's always great, pal, when you take time and come on the show. We will be watching you this weekend. And don't forget, he is indeed the fine author of Fried Rice and Maramara, and you can follow him on X at Mike_Yam. Thank you, brother. Have a good weekend.
Keep up the great work, Mike. Appreciate it.
You guys are the best. I always appreciate the invite. And next time we come on, we got to talk about your Arizona Cardinals, because I'll tell you what, man, product's looking a little bit better here through these first 2 weeks. I like it.
Okay, we'll see what happens against the Detroit Lions. That's the litmus test that everybody's looking for. Thank you, brother.
Take care, guys.
There you go. Mike Yam, everybody. He's presented by All City Towing, and you can join the team for the largest towing company in the state. That is All City Towing. And they're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, customer service personnel as well. And you can enjoy benefits like a set work schedule, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer-paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Just go online, allcitytowing.com, and search careers. Again, that's allcitytowing.com and search careers. It's All City Towing, where your future is on the move. All right, when we come back, we need a contestant to play against one of the Twin Peaks girls here at our Scottsdale location. It is the Twin Peaks Pick'em contest. It's all presented by Blue Moon and Coors Light. 602-260-9191, 602-260-9191. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Envision a stunning putting green or a flawless lawn. With Tempe Turf Installers, it's yours for just $5.50 per square foot. Enjoy up to a 16-year warranty and 2 years of labor coverage. Call Mark at 602-348-7190 or visit TempeTurfInstallers.com for your free estimate.
Looking for the ultimate spot to watch football with fellow Ohioans in Phoenix? It's Upper Crust Pizza and Wine Bar. Enjoy great pizza, cold drinks, and cheer them on all season long at Upper Crust. Located at the 101 and Cave Creek Road.
Looking for the #1 neighborhood sports bar? It's clearly Philly Sports Grill. Dedicated to providing impeccable service and a mouth-watering menu of delicious food and drinks. Whether you're cheering for your favorite team or catching the big game, Philly Sports Grill is your ultimate destination. With 4 convenient locations throughout Phoenix and Tempe, you'll get the best sports bar experience. Experience the excitement at Philly Sports Grill today. For a location near you, head to phillysportsgrill.com.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at G2GBar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein, so keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
Tune in Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. for the Crest Insurance Group Sun Devil Report with Coach Charlie Rago. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust, service you can count on. Every Thursday on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch
Yes,
kitchen that
different
always
Glenn
comes
from
in
last
clutch
week, but
every
Glenn
day,
as well.
from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks.
We had a Glenn last week, but this is a different one.
Rinse and refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Understood. Thank you.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine.
Not fun.
Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. We find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Time for Peaks Picks, your weekly chance to win a $50
You're
Twin
live.
Peaks man card by outscoring one of the beautiful Twin Peaks girls. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree man-sized drafts. Twin Peaks, the best views in the game. Open in Scottsdale, Phoenix, Tempe, Glendale, and Deer Valley.
Welcome back, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM, HD3, also on the iHeartRadio app. And we are hanging out today, Twin Peaks in Scottsdale. Marisa is here, and she was fabulous the last time because she won easily. So she is going to be matched up against our caller. It is Glenn from Chandler. All right, here are the games. Patriots at the Jets tonight, ASU at Texas Tech, and the Detroit Lions visit the Arizona Cardinals. Those are the games. So let us begin with Glenn in Chandler. Glenn, what do you have? Patriots at the Jets tonight. What's your pick?
Oh, thanks for taking me off of suspension. It's good to be back on to put a stop to these girls. I'm taking the Jets.
Taking the Jets. All right. Marisa, what do you got?
Unfortunately, I don't like Aaron Rodgers, but I'm going with the Jets too.
Oh.
He looked decent yesterday, but
He
or
was
last
deep.
week.
You're not a
last week.
Aaron Rodgers fan?
No. I didn't like the Packers, and I also didn't like Aaron Rodgers, and now it's all weird, but
Yeah,
you know what? He's back. So.
It's complicated, Marisa.
Yes, it's a complicated relationship.
All right, the next one, Arizona State at Texas Tech. They're traveling to Lubbock, Texas. Glenn, which way you going here?
Go Devils.
All right, you're going to go. Glenn's going to go with the Sun Devils. All right. Marisa, which way you going?
I'm looking for Texas Tech.
Oh, going Texas Tech on this one
Shout
here.
out.
Okay, shout out. Okay, fair enough. To the NFL, the Lions in town this weekend to play the Cardinals. Glenn, you have the first opportunity here. Detroit or Arizona?
Need a winner and score
And
here.
score,
Winner
yep.
and score.
Well, I'm feeling pretty good after last week. I'm going to take the Cardinals, and I'm going to go 21-20.
Ooh, 21
Cardinals,
20. Cardinals.
21-20. Wow.
Yep.
Close game. All right,
That's right.
Marisa, which way you leaning here?
I'm going to go Lions. As sadly as I am, I'm going to go to the game and everything, but Lions are
Okay.
gonna do
Okay,
Give us a
you got to
score.
score. Yeah, putting pressure on her.
I know.
A lot to a little.
I think
gotta-
it's not going to be a lot for the Cardinals.
Give us a number. Give
unfortunately.
us a couple numbers.
Maybe Cardinals at 15 to 30.
30
So Lions,
to
30 to
Lions 30,
15.
yeah.
30 to 15. All right. That's
Wait.
good. All right.
There you go, Glenn. You're in, pal. Thank you, buddy. Always
All right,
appreciate
guys,
you.
thank you.
You got it, man. There you
Good
go.
luck.
Yeah, you're going to need it because Marisa won last time she was on.
Look, explain this complicated relationship with Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers.
I'm interested here.
I
What's
think
the deal?
he has a lot of ego for not a lot of success records. When he was on the Packers, he looked good at the beginning, but then he just kind of slumped. And then he got freaking what is it called when
Yeah.
he got the award? When
Oh, the MVP.
yeah, he got
Yes.
MVP, but
He's got a few of them.
Yes,
yeah,
he does.
exactly. And
He
I
has
was
a
like,
Super
what did
Bowl
I
win.
see? Yes, for a while ago.
Do I? Who's your team, by the way,
Oh,
Marisa?
it's embarrassing.
Who you got?
Cowboys.
Ooh.
Oh.
And I've never
They
seen
both-
them be successful, but we're not over here rewarding Dak. We're like burning his jersey. So
They both suck right now.
I know. And then he made this contract with the Jets and he injured himself. And I'm like, okay, because he's old. He just needs to retire.
So you're a Texas girl?
No, ASU did not look the best.
So because you took Texas Tech.
Yes, but
and
it's at home.
And you got heartburn with the Cowboys. So I just
Yeah.
thought you might be a Texas gal. Yeah.
Well, my family's from Texas, so I'll go with it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Fair enough.
Give us some of the great specials you got going on here. Thursday night football. Speaking of Patriots at the Jets, give us a little something that's going on tonight for some of the things you got going on tonight.
Well, happy hour starts at 3, so we're already seeing some people come in for that. That's $2 off all of our tall beers.
Okay.
Our favorites are the Dirty Blonde, Naughty Brunette, and the Drop Dead Redhead.
And no specials for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets tonight?
No, if he walks in, he can walk out.
That's
we are not a Packers bar.
Did you notice that? That was
Oh my
emphatic.
God. No, Marisa, there might be therapy for this, and we're
No.
just kind of trying to figure this
The
out.
only person I have patience for is Josh Allen. I feel like he's coming through.
Yeah, he is. Well, Marisa, thank you so much. Let's see if you can beat the pants off of one Glenn from Chandler. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. See if your record stands. The veteran,
Thank you.
Marisa.
Hope for the best.
Thank you,
Thank
Marisa. Okay, you got it. And of course, that is our contest. And we are here at Twin Peaks in Scottsdale, 5 Valley locations to watch all of your NFL, college football, Major League Baseball playoffs as well. And a reminder, you need to sign up because it's free. And if it's free, it's for me. It is the annual Pro Football Pick'em Contest, Twin Peaks Pick'em Contest. It's all brought to you by Blue Moon and Coors Light. This year, a chance to win $5,000. Did you hear me there, Manuch?
Absolutely.
$5,000 plus other great prizes like Twin Peaks gift cards. Here's all you have to do. Just go online and go to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com. You can still get in because we toss out your 4 worst weeks. So if you haven't played yet, you can still get in and compete with everybody else. And because you did not have picks in the first couple of weeks, we'll just toss those out. So just once again, go to fanpick'em.com. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, tonight we said coming into Twin Peaks,
3?
Patriots at the Jets. That'll kick off at 5:20. All the festivities will get going at 5 o'clock. That's a prime video. By the way, I asked the manager here, Jason, I said, you glad that deal with Disney got done at the last hour? He goes, hallelujah.
Oh, man.
Because they have a lot of bars now. We found this out at CSE Sports Bar. They have the Cox box just in case.
Yes.
Because of what was going on. But they did, he said, yeah, what limited coverage we had prior to that deal going down, was it like 11:59 Saturday night, and that deal went down to that ESPN and every ESPN and Disney, everybody,
And Direct
TV.
Yes.
I finally got that figured out. So folks don't have to worry about that anymore. Go to any one of your 5 Valley Twin Peaks. You can watch this Thursday night game. Also, you can watch the Diamondbacks at the Brewers. That's going to get going here at 4:15, 4 o'clock on Fox.
Manuch, you got a feel for tonight's NFL game between these two teams? Patriots are playing much better than I think people thought.
Yeah, they are, but I think the Jets, I think that Aaron Rodgers is starting to play a little better.
Okay.
He's looking
a little more confident.
Yeah, they're rusty. I think that Nathaniel Hackett is offensive coordinator. I got to believe that the input from Aaron Rodgers is more so than what people have thought. But I think that this team, being in New York, Rodgers is starting to get his land legs back once again.
Yeah.
And I think that you'll see this. It'll be a close game just because Gerard Mayo's defenses, much like Bill Belichick's defenses, they're a group there. And you look at what they're doing on the offensive side, nothing fancy.
Okay.
So I think we're going to see a conservative game, maybe a 24-17 win by this New York Jets team.
Fair enough. Hey, coming up, hour number 3. He will be on the show at 3:30, and we will really, at that time, dive into the Detroit Lions and the Arizona Cardinals. I am really looking forward to this upcoming contest just because it was an offensive explosion by the Cardinals last weekend against a beat-up and banged-up Rams team. But the Lions are coming in full tilt.
Well, a true litmus test, right?
It is.
And the Lions want to get back on track.
Yep.
Yeah, they want to, pardon the pun, get back on the prowl and finish like they did last year. Had to throw that one in there.
Boy.
And then the Cardinals, they're looking to fly away from the pride in this game coming up.
We need
Sunday afternoon.
We need a commercial break. It can't get here any sooner after
Gotta
that.
use my creativity when I can, Jimmy.
Oh, gollies. We're here at Twin Peaks in Scottsdale, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Jax is here. Jasmine back at the iHeartRadio studios. Fox Sports 910.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Looking for the ultimate spot to watch football with fellow Ohioans in Phoenix? It's Upper Crust Pizza and Wine Bar. Enjoy great pizza, cold drinks, and cheer them on all season long at Upper Crust. Located at the 101 and Cave Creek Road.
Crest Insurance is about more than providing coverage. It's about creating your safety net. We offer access to a national network of trusted carriers. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, we're here to help with a personal touch that's close to home. We're deeply invested in our communities, supporting local charities and initiatives that uplift those in need. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust. Service you can count on.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you right now, like Alt 2K.
Don't wanna be an American idiot.
Just search Alt 2K and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Okay, I'm gonna need a teaser to close their interview because they were promoting the underdog picks.
They call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say Capital
So I don't need one for Charlie. It might be one for
Bank for details. Capital One and a member FDIC.
Right. Thank
Calling
you.
all veterans and first responders
One
that are
second.
considering buying or selling a home. The Jason Mitchell Group, the #1 real estate team in the United States, is offering all veterans,
Go ahead.
along with active duty and first responders, thousands of
Thank you.
buyers and sellers. The goal now is to give $1 million of real estate commission credits back to veterans and first responders through the Honor Home Rewards program. So if you've been thinking about buying or selling your home and you're a veteran, active duty, or first responder, the time is now. Work with one of the top-rated real estate professionals at the Jason Mitchell Group and put thousands of dollars back in your pocket when you close. Check out honorhomerewards.com. That's honorhomerewards.com. Honor Home Rewards, rewarding those that deserve it most.
John Legend here. How do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Ask your healthcare provider and book at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Joe Brown here with Accident Law Group. If you were hurt in an accident, find us on the web at accidentlawgroup.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the Raffi Law Group studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Diamondbacks jump into a 4-game set against the NL Central champion Brewers tonight. Brandon Pfaadt will get the start. Arizona and the Mets tied for the NL second wild card spot at 84 and 68. The Cardinals getting set for the Lions this week. Today's updated injury report has offensive lineman Kelvin Beachum as limited with a hamstring issue. Linebacker Xavier Thomas did not practice for personal reasons. The Mercury entertained the Seattle Storm tonight in their regular season finale. They are the number 7 seed in the WNBA playoffs and will battle the 2 seed Minnesota. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down into the low 70s. And then for your Friday, look for mostly sunny skies with those daytime highs in the low 90s. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Citizens Green Elections Commission. Debates may be your best chance to get to know the candidates. Don't miss Arizona's official debates. Brought to you by the Citizens Clean Elections Commission. Learn how to watch, listen, and submit a question at azcleanelections.gov/debates. And let's get democracy done.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Scottsdale, located on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in the 101. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the Injury
You are live?
Learner and Row. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at learnerandrow.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Hope you're having a good Thursday afternoon. Welcome in. Hour number 3, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Twin Peaks Scottsdale, our home every Thursday. And we have teamed up with them for a fantastic tailgating sweepstakes with Blue Moon and Coors Light. We're doing it for the entire football season, that is. And it's real easy to enter. You text PEAKS to 59925. We can do it every day. And we have one prize. And it's a pretty big one. It includes a Traeger grill, a Blackstone griddle, a pizza oven, a cornhole set of the teams that you like. So Eagles, Ohio State, a portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector with an inflatable screen, either Coors Light or Blue Moon cooler, cases of our favorite Cocoa 5, which you're going to hear a lot about Cocoa 5 coming on as we have partnered with Cocoa 5, which is owned by Charles Barkley and Devin Booker and a bunch of NBA players, and Michael Wilbon, who will be a regular guest of ours coming up here in the next few weeks. $250 Twin Peaks gift card. And what some think, at least Jimmy B thinks, is the best of the prizes, is a logoed Wild Gear tumbler. You get 2 of those that have Jimmy B's picture on it. Damn right. So no purchase necessary. Just text PEAKS to 59925. Of course, I got to tell you, standard message and data rates do apply. And make this football season unforgettable one at Twin Peaks and Blue Moon and Coors Light to go along with it. But we are out here at the Scottsdale location and getting ready for tonight's D-backs game as their final road series of the year as the Milwaukee Brewers, who are coming off clinching the NL Central Division last night. So we hope that they are moving a little slow because every game is important for the next 10. And I really hope that this team gets in the playoffs.
I do too.
I really do. I don't know. It would be such a disappointment if they don't.
It would be.
Because they had a nice run there where they were up by a lot.
Yep.
And even when they were struggling, the other teams that they were up against were struggling too to get in that last few playoff spots. But, hey, if they get in the wild card, anything can happen.
Sure.
We saw what happened last year, and let's hope this happens. Now, I will tell you, I think the Brewers are the Diamondbacks of last year. I just do, because they flying under the radar. They made some moves in the offseason. They don't have the big superstars. I don't know what their identity is other than Miller Lite. But it's like, okay, what is their identity, the Brew Crew? And I think that you can make a case that if you really kind of look at the makeup of that team, that maybe there's some comparisons to this 2023 Diamondback team.
Well, the Brew Crew is one of the highest scoring teams in all of Major League Baseball.
They are.
You look at their run differential just a few days. It was 124 run differential. The Diamondbacks, I think, were 110. But the one thing about, this time of year last year is the Diamondbacks were just hanging on by a thread. They were on thin ice. They needed people to lose. Matter of fact, when you lose your last game of the year and you still make it in, it means you got some help from the outside.
Exactly. And I think it may came down to the same this year with San Diego the last 3 games.
Yes.
They're fighting against San Diego. And if that happens, I don't mind. If we're in play, we got playoff baseball. We got playoff baseball right now on the 19th of September. I'll take it.
Yeah, and that's why I think they designed that extra team in the wild card. I mean, here you are, 10 games ago. They'll take 3, and you looked at the Mets have won 6 out of the last 10, and the Padres have won 6 out of the last 10. So now when you look at the wild card as far as having 4 teams, Atlanta, they've been struggling. They got hammered again by the LA Dodgers. But right now you got the Padres plus 2.5. Mets and Diamondbacks are tied and the Braves 1.5 now. So I love it. I mean, it's a 4-team race, and you can pretty much say that the Cardinals are pretty much out of it with 7 games back. I mean, but I think that the way they designed this, everybody's scoreboard watching. And we're watching the Braves, we're watching
Boy,
the
the scoreboard watching. You're watching some of these games. I found myself watching the Philly-Milwaukee game last night. It came down to the wire, and the Brewers had already clinched.
Yes.
And I was even saying to Philly, just let them win. Let's move on. Let's let them have their day, because it would suck to clinch the division but still lose the game and celebrate.
Yeah.
It was great for them to beat Philly the way they did. A guy that was batting 194 gets the clutch hit to win the game.
Sure.
And he's batting 194, and he gets the clutch hit with bases loaded or whatever it was, or 2 guys, maybe it was second and third or bases, I can't remember. He gets that base hit and he gets tackled, and I'm like, dude, the guy was hitting 194.
Well, he got the winning run. They'll take it. But
Winning
you know
hit.
what? But the thing is you look at this Padres team and you go, okay, if they're in, let's say they're up by 2 or 1.5 the last day, and you got the Mets and the Diamondbacks going back and forth, you just wonder if the Padres rest some of their guys. Now, I think their starting rotation will stay the same, or maybe they throw somebody in there to start that last game to give them a couple days rest before the wild card starts. So that's there as well too. And then the Mets, I have to take a look at their schedule. But you got this Diamondback team. You got 4 against the Brew Crew. You got 3 against the Giants, and you got the last 3 against the Padres. You love it, but you wonder if some of those other teams that have clinched, i.e. the Padres, maybe they clinched it by that last day. If they rest a lot of guys, playing the Diamondbacks have to win with maybe the JV team or the B team playing for the San Diego Padres.
I'll just add, don't sleep on the Atlanta Braves. They just beat up the Cincinnati Reds today. And even though they are currently on the outside looking in, there is still time for the Braves to make a run.
Yeah, they're just 1.5 back
That's
now.
right.
And that's prior to the Diamondbacks taking on the Brew Crew. The other thing, too, is this, you look at Erod. Erod, here's a guy that really didn't pitch what I'd say the first half of the season plus. He's their best pitcher right now. 18 strikeouts in the last 2 games, the most productive. So now you look at this team as far as this Diamondback team, and you're looking at that rotation that I feel, hey, if you can get at least 6 innings, I think they're going to need to, because of the way that they've been taxing the bullpen, at least 5 to 6 innings is going to be needed, especially against this Brew Crew, and then moving through. Guys, they don't have a day off until next Thursday.
Right.
So it is, talk about the dog days of summer and having to grind it out. This is going to be crucial to see if they can close out this season.
So if it ended today, and with the Atlanta game in the books, Philly, LA, and the Brewers, they clinch their division.
Right.
Wild card, Padres plus 2.5, Diamondbacks and Mets are tied. And then you got Braves, Cubs, and Cardinals underneath that. So I think Atlanta's there is the only one that we really got to worry about.
Correct.
Cubs, there's 7 games behind in the wild card. But, Philly's going to clinch any minute, right? And same with the Dodgers. But you're right. It's going to come down to this last week of baseball, which I love.
I like that.
I
It's
do.
fun.
I mean, at least especially have, a team in there and that penetrates. And then when you look at the AL, Yankees, Guardians, Astros, and then wild card there is the Orioles +5, Royals +2, and then Tigers and Twins fighting it out with the Mariners sitting around maybe if they could go on a streak here.
How about the Yankees? They didn't make the playoffs last year to first place.
Yeah.
In the American
But
League
that
East.
happens, though, when you have the amount of money that they have to spend.
Well, everybody's
They
been
went out
healthy
and
too.
bought Juan Soto.
3.
Well, but Jimmy, I remember
But you got to look at the Cleveland team that doesn't have the money in there,
Yep.
and they got the same amount of wins as the Yankees.
Yep.
Well, think about that. Juan Carlos Stanton was hurt last year.
Yeah, he was.
Soto was banged up. Judge was banged up.
Yep.
Those guys are all healthy now.
They are.
So, and then Baltimore struggled the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, you look at this, but I mean, tonight Brandon Pfaadt takes the bump, followed by Zach Gallen, Kelly, and then Jordan Montgomery. The necessary evil. The Diamondbacks, unfortunately, are going to have to start him because Nelson's out for we don't know how long. I think the key piece is Gabby Moreno is back in the lineup. He's healthy.
Yeah, that helps.
That's
That'll
battery
help.
mate, and he's the guy that can handle his pitching staff. So I think he can come in there and handle these guys. But this Brew Crew team, if Pfaadt can make it past 4 innings, they got a shot at winning this game.
T. Suggs has been named a first-time nominee for the 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame. Anquan Bolden is also a candidate again this year. He finished as a finalist last year. Also some local ties, Darren Woodson, Simeon Rice, Teddy Bruschi, and Lance Briggs. Does Anquan Bolden get in this time?
I would hope so.
I hope so, too.
Yeah, I really do.
I
would hope so. That guy was a dog,
dude. Nothing against the guy. I don't know. He was a dude, and he was, as a lot of you former player, he was a football player.
Well, here's the thing. He was one of the best receivers after yards after contact that they did a measurement of his yards after contact, yards after catch for many, many years. And he was consistent. He was always there. Hell, I remember his first game against Detroit Lions. He had, 10 catches and 2 touchdowns, even though they lost. But I thought his consistency, the physicality he played with the Baltimore, finally got his ring. Had a touchdown catch in that Super Bowl. So those are some of the things I think of him. Also,
all right, but when you get to the point where you look at some other guys that aren't in, that maybe you can make a case like Steve Tasker, or I'm just looking at wide receivers here. Steve Smith Sr. Remember how good he was?
Yes.
Who else do we have? Wide receivers. Sterling Sharp.
But I think with
his career,
Hines
however,
Ward
was cut short. I'm with you on
Reggie
Hines Ward.
Wayne.
Yeah.
Torrey Holt.
That's why I think.
When do you get to the point where, all right, does everybody get in?
No,
well, what might happen? A lot of them have to go through the seniors circuit, like Mark Gastineau.
If you don't get in, you don't get in. I don't hate that.
They've got. I hate it too, Rock, but they've added an addition. It's unfortunate.
This just drags it on to make more money.
They got to go with the seniors to get some of these guys in. Put more. Those guys are all very deserving. Why not put a couple extra receivers? They're all deserving. Anquan Bolden had more catches than a Steve Tasker, but Steve Tasker was a special teams guru. I mean, there's so many things you can look at. These guys both all playing. So why not open it up? Make it more guys that come into the Hall of Fame.
So 10 guys get in every year?
Why not? If they're deserving, they got the numbers. Yeah, I look at the consistency, the high volume of numbers, and how well they played and how they helped that team on a year in, year out basis. Hey, Torrey Holt, greatest show on turf. I mean, you look at that with Kurt Warner and
Super
Marshall
Bowl.
Faulk. Super Bowl.
Did Anquan get one when he was in Baltimore?
Yeah,
Baltimore.
You got that. You got that. I think a touchdown catch.
Hey, we're going to catch up with the ASU assistant head coach Charlie Regal, part of our Crest Insurance Group Sunday Report. We caught up with him earlier today. We're going to bring that back. They got a big game against Texas Tech on Saturday, and then Howard Balzer will jump on board and talk some Cardinal football. We're out here at Twin Peaks Scottsdale. It's Fox Sports 910.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
To Chandler, we have a report of a crash with injuries. This at Dobson Road at Queen Creek. Also on the I-17 northbound near Bumblebee, a vehicle fire reported there. And 17 southbound, the on-ramp from Jomax. It looks like we have that left lane blocked. Watch for emergency vehicles.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2024.
Got a burning urge to pick games each week? Sign up now for Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em, brought to you by Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's totally free to play. Win weekly Twin Peaks fan cards and season-long prizes, including $5,000 cash. Visit fanpick'em.com.
You hear it all the time. Lawyers talk about all their experience, many years of experience with insurance companies, and experience in the courtroom. But what they're not talking about is their results. Maybe they don't have any. At Lerner & Rowe, we're proud of our results because that's how we measure our success. We've helped over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries, with over $1 billion just in the last 5 years alone. When you want results, call Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Looking for a place where everyone is welcome? Come to Azul Bar and Grill in Phoenix. Not your typical sports bar, Azul is the ultimate hangout spot for friends and families alike. Enjoy live music, catch your favorite games, play some fun games, and savor delicious food in a vibrant atmosphere. Visit us at 3134 West Carefree Highway in the Tremonto Plaza. Don't miss out on our daily events and specials at azulgrill.com. Azul Bar and Grill, a great time, but a better time with you.
Crest Insurance is about more than providing coverage. It's about creating your safety net. We offer access to a national network of trusted carriers, Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, we're here to help with a personal touch that's close to home. With Crest, you're not only protecting what matters most, but also helping to build stronger, more resilient communities. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust. Service you can count on.
Hey sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
The Mercury entertained the Seattle Storm tonight in their regular season finale. They're the 7th seed in the WNBA playoffs and will battle 2-seed Minnesota. The Cardinals back at the practice field to get ready for their Week 3 tilt against the Lions. Arch Manning will make his first collegiate start at quarterback for second-ranked Texas Saturday against Louisiana Monroe, with incumbent Quinn Ewers sidelined for an oblique injury. I'm Frank Garrity.
The NFL action is here. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. New customers download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SPORTS to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. That's code SPORTS. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus. Arizona only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at dkng.co/ftball.
Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Scottsdale, located on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in the 101. Let's talk Sun Devil football. Coach Charlie Regal now on Fox Sports 910 with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, courtesy of the Crest Insurance Group. Combine your home and auto for big savings today. Head to crestins.com.
Coach, before we get started, congrats on last week's win at Texas State. What a game that was. Seemed like that was a hell of an atmosphere you guys were in, and the way to come back from 21 was really hats off. Is there one word that you could even describe that game, if it's something that come to mind?
I think, and first of all, how are you? Endurance. I think just, it's kind of what we wanted. And I know that sounds silly to say, but, we've gotten to 2 fast starts with Wyoming and Mississippi State. And obviously, kind of gotten the lull there. We talked about Mississippi State. But, to be tested, to go on the road, not play our best football, and kind of find out, hey, what kind of grit does this team have? And does it have the grit that we think it does? And they certainly put that on display on Thursday night.
Coach, when you look back, spring ball, fall camp, the first couple of games, what sustains that kind of mantra to come back and have that grit, as you mentioned?
I think it's 2 things, really, with this particular group. I think, and I've talked about the first one, which is how hard they work. Like, these guys aren't scared of hard work. That's the thing that keeps showing itself every Tuesday and Wednesday. We get after it from a practice standpoint. And so hard work. And then I think the second thing is that we just have some good quality kids on this football team. And I'm talking about the spirit of who they are. And I think, when we went down 21-7, nobody really flinched. I called Kenny the next day. He was in Texas recruiting. I was here recruiting, and I called him. I just gotten done. I was sitting there, and I was getting something to eat, and I called him. And I said, hey, man, you know what? We got something different with these guys. They didn't flinch. They didn't start, griping at one another. They just, hey, we got this. And and they figured out a way to win. And I think that's, at the end of the day, there's no style points, as you guys know. Dub's a dub, and we're sitting here talking at 3-0.
Coach, and you get somewhat Scatterby gets shut down a little bit, but I think that Sam Levitt, talk about a great bounce back game, but more importantly, making plays when he had to, throwing the ball, running the ball. That boded very, very well for this team. And I think his leadership aura around him might have grown as well, too, in that game.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. And from a coach's perspective, probably couldn't have unfolded any better for us to have that happen, right? You're going to need Sam to grow and develop the passing game, which I think we all believe he has the capability to do. We've just been so efficient at running the rock the first couple of weeks. You know, these guys were going to go out of their way to make sure that we didn't, have as effective run game. So, he's elevated his game, and we beat him with some great passing plays. And I think that's only going to bode well for Sam and the Sun Devils as we move forward into the, second quarter of the season.
What's the difference in Texas State from the Texas State in years past, Coach?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
So what's the difference with Texas State now versus years past? I mean, they have got a lot of dudes on that program.
Well, and I think that's a great point. I think, one, obviously, being able to acquire the talent, quickly in the sense of the transfer portal, a program, that may have been historically down like a Texas State, is now able to go out, spend a little money, and elevate their roster quicker. Now, sometimes there's pros and cons to that. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But I think when you see the atmosphere there, you see the president and athletic director, they've made a commitment to winning, and you can see that in what they're doing there.
Charlie Regal's our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. Coach, my question now, Big 12 conference play beginning. On the road in beautiful Lubbock, that's a lie. You're going to play against a Texas Tech. I knew I'd get a chuckle out of that. You're going to play against the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and they can throw the ball all over the yard. That has been their MO and for years, and it still is. Is it just too simple to say that the game plan offensively is a ball control offense and try to keep their offense off the field? Or can you add something to that you think is going to take place in this game?
Well, I think, first and foremost, that's what our identity is. Our identity is running the football, and everything comes off of our run game. I don't think you have to be a rocket scientist to watch us play and see that, our passing game comes off of us being physical up front and running the football. And so, I don't think that's going to change this Saturday in Lubbock. They do throw the ball all over the yard, but for us, we've got to go in there and just play, get after it, physical, downright, punch in your face football. And I think if we do that, I like our chances.
That seems to be the tone this year, Coach. It's obvious just to pound the ball control, especially with an air raid team or a team that throws it all over the yard like Texas Tech. You guys been doing a lot of tackling drills with those dummies and tackling in space with these guys spread out, 4, 5, 6, where do they go, 10 wide sometimes, Charlie?
Listen, they got about every trick in the playbook, I'll tell you that. So it's they do try and spread you out, and they throw it laterally, vertically. Any which way they can throw the ball, they're going to throw it. And we just again, we've got to try and close the space and turn this into a fist fight. And I think if we can do that, again, I think we're going to be in good shape.
I think one thing that a lot of people don't realize, Charlie, is your scout team giving you that look. Now, I can imagine you got the best of the best. You're running that scout team of Texas Tech's offense and their defense as well, too. But I'm sure you got Navi Bruzon back there running that scout team and throwing the ball over the yard. How important is that to get that good look?
Well, I think it's critical. One, we tell these guys and we're on them about the film study and teaching them how to be, professional about, coming in and putting in the time to study the film. Well, then you've got to go out there and be able to practice those looks at a high level. And Navi does a fantastic job in helping those guys from a scout team perspective give us great looks. And and that is critical every week. Every look team, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, the looks and the quality of looks that you get are critical for a great operation on Saturday. There's no doubt about that.
Charlie, take me to the defensive side of the ball then, because they are going to have to be on the field and defend against that passing attack of Texas Tech. Is there things that you will do differently as far as the defensive secondary? Will you add an extra defensive back? Will you try to, run a few more blitzes to put pressure on the QB? I know you can't give the game plan away, but give me something, okay?
Well, let me tell you this. You know what really makes a great defensive back? A great defensive line.
Yes, exactly. Yes, you're right.
I think those guys know up front that we've got to come play our A game up front. And the more pressure that we can get on these guys, the more we're going to have to, make them throw the ball sideways, right? It takes time if you want to take shots and throw and stem vertical passes. That takes time. That means you got to be able to hold up in the pocket more with protection. So, for us, that's one thing that we want to see. We want to see that ball come out quicker, and we want to see that thing go laterally. And, again, I think that's another piece to the puzzle. If we're doing that, probably good things are going to happen for the Sun Devils on Saturday afternoon.
Coach, do you expect this to be a pretty high-scoring game? I mean, Texas Tech just put up nearly 70 points on the board. I mean, they are scoring as we're talking about, but so do you guys. So do you expect this to be kind of a back-and-forth type game?
Well, I think that the one thing is, and you guys have just, kind of hit on it, right, in terms of running the football and time of possession, those things are critical, right? And when you have an offense that throws around as much as they do and has put up the amount of points, I think, again, establishing a good solid run game and eating up some clock will help counterbalance, that high scoring output. And I think, philosophically, me personally, just running the football and playing quality defense and good special teams wins a lot of football games. And I think that the guys in our building really subscribe to that message, and that's the goal again on Saturday.
Hey, Charlie, I just want to make sure, is there a different kind of math in San Marcos, Texas, as far as clock management, what have you? I mean, you can only, 2 seconds seem like 10. I mean, is there new math being taught there on campuses or what?
I'll tell you what, if there is, I was going to stay and try and get a few years back off my age. Maybe we could reverse this thing, and maybe they could list me in my bio at 40 or 42. I try and get some of those seconds back. They seem to be pretty good at that. So, that was an interesting one, how it ended, for sure. That was wild. But you know what? We made it out of there and got the W. But that was certainly one I hadn't seen something like that unfold in a long time.
Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck on Saturday. We'll talk to you next week.
Always a pleasure, boys. Appreciate you. Go Devils.
Go Devils. Charlie Regal there. Thanks to Crest Insurance for sponsoring the Charlie Regal Sun Devil Report. Crest Insurance Group offers personal, business, and specialty insurance solutions for clients across all markets. Check them out online at crestins.com. Coming up, we're talking some Cardinal football as they're playing the Lions this weekend at State Farm. Howard Balzer joins us next to break it all down. To Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Twin Peaks Scottsdale.
This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
The Mercury hosts the Seattle Storm tonight for their regular season finale. They'll face the Minnesota Lynx when the playoffs begin next week. The Cardinals' updated Week 3 injury report against the Lions show offensive lineman Kelvin Beachum as limited in today's practice with a hamstring issue. Linebacker Xavier Thomas did not practice for personal reasons. The Diamondbacks head into a 4-game set against the NL Central champion Brewers tonight. Brandon Pfaadt on the mound. Arizona and the Mets tied for the NL second wild card spot at 84-68, while playoff hopeful Atlanta won their game against the Reds today. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down into the low 70s. And then for your Friday, look for mostly sunny skies with those daytime highs in the low 90s. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Primatene Mist. During an asthma attack, every second feels like an eternity. Primatene Mist works fast. It's clinically shown to open airways quickly, providing quick relief of mild symptoms of intermittent asthma. Get the #1 FDA-approved over-the-counter asthma inhaler. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again.
Introducing Smidge, the game-changing, ready-to-drink beverage that's shaking up the market. With just 2.5% alcohol and only 50 calories in a 12-ounce serving, Smidge is perfect for the sober curious. Smidge better taste, fewer calories, and double the fun. Try it today.
Looking for the ultimate spot to catch all the college football action and your chance to win $9,100 every Saturday? Join us at Philly Sports Grill for the Dos Equis Game Day Show, live every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at any of our 4 Valley locations. Each week, up to 20 contestants will have the chance to roll the dice and win $9,100. Plus, be entered to win tickets to the first ever quarterfinal game in Glendale. Plus, enjoy Dos Equis featured each week. Visit fox910gameday.com for details. Philly Sports Grill, the #1 sports bar where the game is always on and the excitement never ends.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
You may not have any experience dealing with car wrecks, but Lerner and Rowe does. After your car wreck, you need an attorney to make sure your interests, like car repairs, medical bills, and lost wages, are protected. Finding the right attorney is actually easy. Just look for reputation, experience, and results. Lerner and Rowe has thousands of 5-star reviews, decades of experience, and we've recovered billions of dollars for our injured clients. Hurt in a wreck and need a check? Call Lerner and Rowe today.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules.
Thank you.
The 401k employer match.
All good. I have Howard on the phone.
Paid life insurance and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Ready for some football? Join our annual Pro Football Pick'em contest today. You could win $5,000 and amazing prizes from Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. Don't miss out on the excitement.
All right, Howard's ready.
FanPick'em.com. That's FanPick'em.com.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $200 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bet. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
Sarah Spain with iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Capital One. A league first for the NWSL. Next Monday, New York, New Jersey's Gotham FC will be honored at the White House for their 2023 NWSL title, marking the first time an NWSL club has been invited to the President's House to celebrate a league title. The trophy was Gotham's first in the NWSL and came just a year after the team finished in last place. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
With the Venture X card from Capital One, you earn unlimited 2x miles on everything you buy. Plus, get access to over 1,300 airport lounges. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
He's been covering the National Football League for close to 50 years. A longtime NFL writer, broadcaster, and Hall of Fame voter, Howard Balzer. Now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Well, I don't think there were a lot of people that expected the Cardinals to completely trounce the LA Rams, but thanks to Marvin Harrison Jr. in the big game and Kyler Murray's so-called perfect passing rating, they did get the big win, and then now they get to turn their attention to the Lions. Howard Balzer now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Howard, you got a lot of play on a lot of shows the last few days because of your perfect rating book that you have. Where is this book? Where is this book that has the perfect rating formula in it?
I've got the book, and I had the picture with just the cover and one of the pages on a little bit that Mark McCune did on Arizona Family and on a story I wrote on Cards Wire. And it's a book I was sent almost 50 years ago when the passer rating system began. But there's nothing in that book that says anything about a perfect passer rating. I can say that. And we could get into a long conversation with it. We don't have enough time, but I'll be as succinct as possible. The bottom line with this passer rating system was that it was never intended to be used in games. It was basically done to be fair in comparing quarterbacks from season to season with the way it had been, how they had ranked players before that. And to give you a perfect example of not using that for games, this system was implemented in 1973. Would you like to guess the first year that they actually started including pass ratings in games on the game book and the official stats that would be issued after each game? You know what year that was?
1973.
1997.
I was way off.
It took them 24 years. And so basically, to make a very long story short, they set up the system with top numbers in each of the four categories that are used: completion percentage, average yards per attempt, touchdown percentage, and interception percentage. Now, interception percentage, there's no top number because you get the maximum rating points if you don't throw any interceptions. So that one is basically static. The other ones, though, they put a top number. And the top number, for example, for complete percentage, 77.5. And that had a correlating number that then adding them up for all the categories translated to the passer rating. Well, at that time, there weren't too many players completing more than that percentage of passes in games. Well, it happens. I'm not going to say it happens a lot now, but Kyler Murray completed 81% of his passes on Sunday. So the bottom line with this is that if you go over 77.5, you don't get any extra rating points for it to calculate the passer rating. Same thing with the other two categories. So if they would just let the system play out, which they didn't have a need for then, if they just did it now with the computer software available, you can get higher passer rating than 158.3. And I have a formula that you can figure that out with. And so that proves categorically that if 158.3 can't be a perfect passer rating, because you can get numbers that are higher in each of those three categories. And I'll give you a good example, guys. Here's a good one. Kyler Murray right now leads the NFL in third down passer rating. In completion percentage, guess what? He's perfect. He's 11 for 11 on third down. Wow. And you couple that with his other numbers, and he's listed as number one in third down passer rating at 158.3. But I did what I'm calling now, by the way, I've named it. It's the BAPR. It's the Balzer Adjusted Passer Rating. And
nice.
His passer rating should be, on third down, 200.6.
Wow. Jeez. Wow.
But it's not official because the NFL won't open the system up. And the funny thing about all this, when I tweeted Sunday evening, it happened as soon as the TV guy Sunday said, "Oh, he's got a perfect passer rating." And I said, "Oh, here we go again," right? And so I put a tweet out and said, "All my friends in the local media, please don't refer to Kyler Murray's passer rating as perfect." Yeah. And so people say, "Well, if it's the highest you can get, isn't that perfect?" I said, "Well, no, because you should be able to get higher." And someone accused me of being a buzzkill. I said, "No, I'm not being a buzzkill, because I'm telling everybody that he should have a higher passer rating than 158.3, which, by the way, for this game on Sunday would have been 170.6. So that's my little, education on the passer rating system. And I've been on a crusade about it. I once in a while lobby the NFL. Why don't you open up this system? And here's another point, guys. In all sports, we have records, right? Whatever the record is, most home runs in a season, most home runs in a game, in NFL, rushing yards in a game, whatever it might be, you have a record. What's the record for passer rating? It's 158.3, and it's held by 79 people. That depends on how many minimum attempts. if you use 15 minimum offense, there's 61. So they're all tied for the record. Well, why not open it up and find out? Well, I'll tell you who has the record. All right. Len Dawson, in a game many, many years ago, had a passer rating of 234.9. Wow. What it should have been. But it went in the book as 158.3. And I think that's crazy.
All right, let's get a football question before we get you going. This a true litmus test for the Cardinals this weekend with the Lions coming in.
Yeah.
Lions trying to prove that they are the same team they were last year, the way they ended. This one could be a little bit of a slobber knocker, or do you see this high-scoring affair open up a little bit on both sides?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's either. But both these teams have very good offenses, but they're pretty good on defense too. And the Cardinals are showing up. Granted, it's only 2 games, so we can't get too head over heels on it. But the Cardinals right now on third down. I mean, I thought third down was just spectacular on Sunday, and most of them were manageable. I mean, the Cardinals had 4 of their 5 sacks on third down, and the longest one was 3rd and 5. And so, but the Cardinals overall right now are tied for third with 2 other teams in the NFL for third down defense, allowing only 25% first down. The Cardinals are number 1, I believe, in offensive third down at 58.3. Maybe there's one other team better, but they're right up there pretty high. So they're in the top 5 in both. And so certainly that's a big part of it. You got to do that. Stop them on third down. Defense. So, like I said, though, I think that the game could go either way in terms of how it plays out. But if it's a clean game, not too many penalties, not too many turnovers, it'll probably be in the 20s, something like that. I don't certainly expect a blowout from either side. But it was great that the Cardinals were able to get a home win. It's only their 4th since October of 2021. Wow. Beat the Rams, obviously, which they've always had difficulty doing, and doing it in convincing fashion. So I think this will be obviously it's a test for the Cardinals. And the biggest thing is, can you put 2 really good games together, 2 in a row? And, we'll find out soon enough on Sunday.
Shootout, yes or no? Shootout?
Well, what do you define as a shootout? Both teams scoring in the 30s?
Yes.
I don't think that'll happen.
Okay.
I think it'll be in the mid to high 20s. Maybe the winning team gets 30, but I don't think both teams will be in the 30s. But, I could be wrong. It certainly wouldn't surprise me if it is. It was a 34-31 game, something like that. But but these teams are similar in a lot of ways with the kind of the personality of their coaches. Certainly Gannon's not as boisterous as Dan Campbell, but they are similar personalities in the way they coach and the way they, want the game played a certain way. They both play very hard. Buda Baker said it today. We're both violent teams.
Break.
We both get after it, and that should make for a very interesting Sunday afternoon at State Farm Stadium.
Should be a good one. Howard, thanks for a few minutes. Appreciate you.
Hey, I will say this was a perfect radio segment.
Thank you.
Perfect.
158.3.
What is it called again? What's the B's? What is it? What is the new formula called?
BATR.
Okay.
Balzer adjusted passer rating.
All right, there we go. We'll trademark it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Howard Balzer, follow him on Twitter, HBalzer721. Of course, USA Today's Cards Wire, always with us on Thursdays. Appreciate his time. Next, what's on tap plus the Lerner Row 1 call to Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B from Twin Peaks, Scottsdale.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
Route 51 northbound on-ramp from Thomas Road. We have an accident blocking the left lane. HOV lane is blocked by a crash. 202 Santan Freeway westbound near Higley Road. And 17 southbound on-ramp from Jomax, we have a crash.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2024.
Hey, it's Rock for Wright Toyota. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, check out Wright Toyota and WrightToyota.com. We broadcast there every Friday from 1 to 4, so stop by, say hello. Right on the price, right on the selection, WrightToyota.com.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer-paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move. Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Kick off football season with Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light for a season-long fantastic tailgating giveaway. Text PEAKS to 59925 every day for your chance to win the amazing grand prize. A Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, pizza oven, cornhole set, portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector, inflatable screen, cases of Cocoa 5, a cooler, and wild gear tumblers. No purchase necessary. Just text PEAKS to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply. Make this football season unforgettable with Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light.
Choosing the right lawyer after a car wreck is important. You need to consider the law firm's experience, results, and reputation. Lerner & Rowe stands above other law firms when it comes to experience and results, helping over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries. When it comes to reputation, we have thousands of 5-star reviews, and year after year, we have been voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. Call us today and let us put our experience, proven results, and reputation to work for you.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Attention Nebraska and Arizona fans. Catch every thrilling game at Arena Sports Grill, your official watch party destination. Enjoy great food, drinks, and the ultimate game day atmosphere with fellow fans. Don't miss a single play. Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stings that just will never come out. Oh, Downy the rinse change. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Hello, parents. It's Mr. Jim, and I want to invite your kids to listen to Kids Short Stories. You see, kids all around the world listen to Kids Short Stories and send in their ideas. And every single day, I create a brand new story about them finding treasure, stopping the bad guy, or flying on a unicorn. If you're looking to cut down on screen time, search for Mr. Jim. So listen to Kids Short Stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's the Lerner and Rowe. One call, that's all. Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
That's 2 out of the 3 games now where the
Your life
for the game hit a home run. Pitch number 8 in this at bat right here. 3-2, slam down the line in right. Corbin Carroll has hit another one. 2 at bats, 2 home runs for Corbin. Make it 5-0 Diamondbacks. And he earned that one. He laid off a bunch of close pitches.
Corbin Carroll, homer twice, drove in 3 in the first 2 innings as the D-backs crushed the Rockies yesterday 9-4. He now has 20 homers for his second straight 2020. What a second half for Corbin Carroll. And let's hope that he can continue as they take on the Brewers coming up here around 4:15 as Brandon Fault will get the ball for the opener of this one as the Brewers clinched the Central Division yesterday. So you hope that they come out a little sleepy and hungover and they go in and have a good time.
A little champagne hangover there.
What's on tap? It is the D-backs and Brewers coming up at 4:15. It is on Fox. And Patriots and Jets on Prime Video at 5:20. A great place to watch, of course, is Twin Peaks. We're at the Scottsdale location right now, but there are 5 to choose from, and specials on Coors Light and Blue Moon every Thursday while watching the game. So let's hope the Patriots can slow down the Jets.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that
our good buddy Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, Marisa, who was our pick'em contestant here, said not real happy with Aaron Rodgers. Not a fan of Aaron Rodgers.
That makes two of us.
Not a real big fan.
I like him.
Did we ask you?
No, but I offered it up anyway.
Hey, guys, our State Free Roofing It's Your Call question today, speaking of the Cardinals and the Lions. What will be more important for the Cardinals to beat the Lions on Sunday? Again, go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. Protect Kyler Murray or pressure Jared Goff. Again, go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. Currently, pressure Jared Goff 62.5% or protect Kyler Murray. That's at 37.5%. I would protect Kyler Murray only because they had success with 13 and 12 personnel extra blocker in there to get the ball down the field. Jared Goff's got too many weapons. You try to pressure him, he'll find the hot route. He'll find this. He'll find that.
Ball's coming out fast.
Yep. I'd rather them drop more guys into coverage. Try to push the pocket just a little bit.
There's that guy, Aiden Hutchinson, who had 4.5 sacks this last
game. So you may want to chip him, have an extra tight end in there. So I think that the Cardinals, if they have a chance, they've got to protect Kyler Murray. Obviously, they'll bootleg him. They'll roll him out. He'll scramble around and find guys down the field.
Yep.
But you get a heavy dose of that four-man front of the Lions all game. That'll start to wear you down. And by the way, folks, Kelvin Beachum was questionable, a hamstring issue going on at right tackle. All of a sudden, you don't want backups coming in against this front four if Kelvin Beachum can't go on Sunday.
And why is that, Jimmy? What's the big deal for Detroit?
Because you have to have double hits on Aiden Hutchinson, who had 4.5 sacks on Baker Mayfield against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the last game. He is one of the best rushing defensive ends, and they move him from side to side, so they give you a different look almost every down where Hutchinson is located.
You have such a man crush on him, don't you?
I'd kiss him if he were here.
Yes, I figured that.
Things a little slow at home, Jimmy?
But more importantly, tonight, it's a AFC East rival. This is a good one. Jets and Patriots. I think it'll be a game that a lot of people will be out to watch because of the nature of the history between these two teams.
Aaron Rodgers.
And and Garrett Wilson, who he's been targeting quite a bit over the first 2 weeks. So, and Breece Hall, he's yet to have a breakout game for them. But I was surprised last week to see New England. I thought they were going to be the worst team in the league, and maybe they will be. I mean, it's hard to really kind of get a good idea how this season is. Because the Ravens got a tough one on this weekend, right? Are they going to be 0-3? I mean, there's some teams that you thought, hey, maybe a Super Bowl contender or go deep in the playoffs, and they're starting slow. So I think we can really make a case after week 4. I think we can.
That's
figure it
usually the time you have. You know what you have and you don't have after 4 or 5
wasn't
weeks.
it the San Diego Chargers with Stan Humphries at quarterback that went 0-4?
3?
And then played their way all the way into the playoffs.
The Steelers did
There's only
that.
3 teams, I think, started 0-2.
Steelers
that made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But 0-4, the Steelers came back. They got to the Super Bowl, whether they won that or not. I think the Packers might have beat them that year.
Okay.
But yeah, it's tough, man. You get behind the 8 ball 2, 3, 4 games. It's tough to make those games up because it's just so hard. And then, you look at a team like the Chargers this year, going back east and trying to win that game on the road. But I just think, guys, with the parity in the National Football League, with the free agency all over the place, and if your quarterback can stay healthy, and those top-notch receivers are getting paid $25 to $30 million a year, are your game breakers or the guys that get you on the board quickly. That's kind of the common theme in the National Football League anymore, is guys staying healthy. Or guys being able to get that jump out front early in the season.
So here's your percentage of 0-2 NFL teams to make the playoffs.
2.
Since 1990, 279 teams have opened 0-2. Only 32 of them have made the postseason. That's 11.5%, which is an incredibly low number, don't you think? 11, just over 11%. And, now that they expanded to 14 teams in the playoffs in 2020, the odds should be slightly better moving forward, you would think, because the playoffs have have opened up a little bit.
There are teams you think of that are 0-2. I think the Ravens will correct it unless somebody gets hurt or somebody else is prominent that's not playing.
And trivia-wise, at the bar today,
yes,
only the Cowboys in 93, The 2001 Patriots and the 2007 Giants have ever won a Super Bowl, are the only ones to win a Super Bowl after starting 0-2.
Wow. Little breaking news. Shohei Ohtani has hit 2 home runs for the Dodgers. He is the first player ever to go 50 and 50. He has
Pretty good, huh?
He's okay.
Yeah.
He's got 51 stolen bases and 50 home
Think
runs.
about that.
That's
And
incredible.
that's incredible. I mean,
that
but,
doesn't happen.
But you think of Altua from the Braves. He had 72 stolen bases and 48 home runs.
He did
last year.
Yep.
And Bob Nightingale wrote on that the other day going, okay, that's 50-50, but how about Altua? He had 72 stolen bases, 48 home runs. That's big.
Yeah.
And he played every game but one game in the outfield for the Atlanta Braves team last year.
We're at Twin Peaks. Great place to watch tonight's Patriots-Jets game. 5 locations. Coors Light Blue Moon specials every Thursday and into the weekend. We appreciate them having us out here once again. Next week, we will be at the Tempe location. So we'll have some fun down there at Tempe Marketplace. Tomorrow, right, Toyota. Don't forget Jack's show on Saturday.
10.
The Scottsdale Phillies. More Roc and Manuch continues tomorrow.